Welcome to episode 18 on the Rock. Your boy Marcellus Wiley. We are adults now. We are 18 episodes in. Look at this adult shit. What a weekend, man. My ass went down to, what was that, Irvine?
Irvine.
Yeah, I didn't see you, Hatch, but we were in the same place. We'll talk through this. I got this. Yeah, buddy. I did get to see Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Bryce Young. Had to MC the RX3 celebrity flag football game, and all them dudes was in the building, man. And my MJ, my little boy, was just
autographs
soaking it
and all
up.
that.
Yeah, he went out there. My boy Matt Lindsay said he got his cash. You got to get him signed. Yeah. And I was like, damn, because we doing pictures all day now. Yeah. And then he went up to all them cats, and literally they had convos, 2-3 minute convos, just chopping up wood, man. So love to all the guys that was out there.
That inspired him to be that quarterback you want?
Dog, I tried to hold it back, but when I was talking to Aaron, I was like, hey, man, any tips? He was like, just practice. I was like, man, I could have did. I could have said that, Aaron.
He said, don't
just
suck.
practice. I want you to tell, like, make sure your pinky is 45 degrees or something, right? He like, nah, just practice. But love, man. Everybody was in the building.
I'm glad little Bronny had a good time.
I'm trying. Dog, trust me.
Careful.
I will handle that way different than
There's layers to that.
Yes.
A lot of layers.
If I were Braun, I'd be like, yes, I did, and yes, I am, and yes, this is.
And I will do it again in 2 years for Bryce.
Oh, I'm owning that.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And that's to the victor goes the spoils.
Say that again.
Right? So you have paid your dues, did your time, and now you get to expose him from the earliest age, just like Ken Griffey Sr., and just like all these other cats, Barry Bonds' dad, everybody else.
Say that.
And he gets to grow up in it, and that's beautiful.
Man, say that again.
And he knows it's possible.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it's about, man. Just make sure you pass that baton, dog, and don't hit him in the head while you're doing it.
Don't hit him in the head.
Pass it.
Yeah,
Pass it.
that girl
Pass it,
lying.
don't swing it.
Ooh, she out here lying.
My bad.
Pass it, don't swing it.
Who we got here? Who's this man?
Richie Porter, Chicago's finest.
Hi,
I done banned you from saying
Richie.
Southside Chicago. He should. He know we got a tip jar for Southside Chicago.
My line.
Happy St.
City
Patrick's
fight.
Day, and we touched on death last episode, and today is actually the birthday of my oldest friend, John Pembroke. We went to nursery school together at 2, and he passed away 2 years ago. So happy birthday, Pimby.
R.I.P.
Happy birthday, Pimby. Yeah, Hatch is in the building. I don't got no green on.
No.
For some odd reason. I don't know.
Ain't nobody pinching you. We ain't that tight.
Oh, yeah. Is that the thing? What's the St. Patty's Day thing? Is it you pinch
You
something?
pinch somebody. If they don't wear green, you pinch them. But you got green in the back of your hat. Your lid is green.
Lid. Okay, yeah.
so
Okay, I'm good.
I'm here straight out of New York, and I'm representing the ski club. For my boy Hatch right here.
That's funny? That's funny to you?
Your dating habits
for the slopes
is a sport.
This is what we ain't gonna do. My dating life is not on the show. This is not what we gonna do.
We noticed. We noticed.
If y'all tell lies about me, I'll tell the truth about you.
Oh,
That's snitching.
I like that.
Snitching.
Call it what you want.
That's right. Hit him with it.
Mark, Trip, happy St. Pat's Day. Have one on me.
Like Mark.
First of all, can we just give some props to this 1993 color-coordinated oak tree mannequin
show 'em the feet.
Fox Hills
Show
Mall
'em the feet.
special?
Chess King.
What's it, Jay West? What was the other one, Jay West?
Never that.
Mardi Gras. You just came back with Mardi Gras, huh?
Nah. This is Mark.
Came back from the block.
Clean though.
He got the liquor store cheeks. I thought he was in the Mardi Gras. You boy, look like you been pounding some liquor. You've been on that liquor. You're on that Michael Jordan liquor. Too. Hey, it works good for me. The Michael Jordan eyes.
Just
Who we
yellow.
got back there?
What up, Terry Jingles, filmmaking extraordinaire in the building. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, and happy birthday, belated birthday.
Happy belated.
Happy belated, young man.
Blessed to see another year. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
celebrated last night some.
Yeah, we got it in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a miracle we here. You
They
dig?
ain't want to tell nobody else, huh? I ain't know about it.
You know?
We weren't invited?
Wasn't my birthday.
Hey, and Terry is like that?
It's the wife put it together. I didn't even know.
That's when you know he didn't have shit to do with it.
Exactly.
Or at least he doesn't want us to think he had shit.
that part.
The wife put it together. Well, my wife knows who I want invited. Well, when I
Good
had-
point.
when I had a wife.
Good point.
When I had a wife.
You start reliving the past. It's over. It's over.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Let it go.
She is with Steph Curry now, nigga. Goodness gracious.
Y'all gonna make that Denzel tear fall.
Yeah, please.
Don't do that to them. Don't do them like that. Don't do them like that.
That's cold, Hatch.
Hey,
That's cold.
this is his nightmare right here.
Oh no, not the night.
Oh, he going night night with somebody.
She like cuddle me. Oh, we
It's all love,
back,
baby.
man. Who back there with that Eagles hat on?
Hey, what's going on, man? Carver Wright, friend of the show. You know, happy St. Patty's Day, guys. You know, I got my Eagle championship green on.
Wow.
You know, don't be like that.
You don't be like that.
Oh, no.
You don't be like that.
Yeah, we
gotta
saw
be like that.
Cooper DeJean or
DeJean.
Yeah,
DeJean.
DeJean. Put some respect on it.
Yeah, he was at the camp.
DeJean, if
like
he
that?
Haitian.
Huh?
He a
It's
dude.
DeJean if he Haitian.
Oh,
That's how they say it.
he run like he Haitian. I love a big old strong ass dude. Don't let the paint job fool you, huh?
Athlete.
He
Athlete.
run like he Haitian. That's something.
Athlete.
He got a picture with MJ. So let's
That's
get
what's
into it,
up.
man.
That's
We
what's
talking
up.
some football right now. Let's talk about the signings. We got obviously T. Higgins and Jamar Chase just
Yes.
got they paper.
Yes.
Both of them highest paid number one wide receiver, non-quarterback NFL
Yep,
history,
yep.
and highest paid number
number
two
two.
receiver ever.
Yes.
So cheese is everywhere being graded.
Yes,
Joe
sir.
Burrow already been paid.
Yes.
So it looks like they took care of their main guys.
Yeah.
And the broader conversation is this going to allow them to get a championship? Can you buy a chip? Can you take care of your guys, and that ensures that this is chip worthy? What you think? of
It
that?
has nothing to do with them winning a championship, but it does have to do with them winning consistently now. A championship is hard, right? The Super Bowl is hard.
How many you got? Okay,
Same
me
as
too.
you got.
Me too. Me too. All right, me too.
So, but
Everybody over here.
Y'all got I ain't got none either.
But I do want to give a shout out to Troy Walters, the receivers coach for the Bengals. Again, he told me back in the day when they got there, when T got there, the relationship between two superstars is hard to deal with in the NFL, right? And they've done it seamlessly. And everybody said they can't do it, right? One's got to get his money, the other one's got to go. This goes to show, right? Your Batman and Robin can happen. Now, do they win championships? That we'll see about that. But they're going to win some games with that nucleus, right? You got to stay healthy, of course, but they're going to win some games. The championship, I think they have a better shot at it just because of this signing for sure.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I'm looking at the squad like that's a lot of money for some receivers, the passing game.
Yeah.
Will it balance it out? Will you complement yourselves? And we know the money's going up, so I'm not even tripping on the money amount.
Right.
It's just a commitment to just that position, that part of the game. Is that enough to round it out?
Well, they looming on their defense, which was terrible. They have to sign the best sacker in the business.
Yep, Hendricks.
And do they have money for that now? That's the question. I love that they signed those two guys on the receiver side. And I love me some T. Higgins. I really became a T. Higgins fan when Chase was out last year. He caught the ball so effortlessly and was,
talent, dog. Basketball, all that.
God.
basketball.
Yeah.
It
You
looks
see it.
like it. It's
Yeah.
like ballet out there for him.
Yeah. You know what's weird? To be somewhere and you are number two, and you know if you went anywhere else, you could be a number one, but you stay still in that. Because y'all remember Peerless Price?
Peerless
anybody?
Price.
Sure. Peerless Price had
Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee went to Buffalo, played with us in Buffalo.
But most of those numbers, I tell all the guys out here in the NFL, when you're a number two, don't run to be a number one.
Yeah.
All y'all can't handle it.
Yep.
A number one is totally different. There's been very few number twos that they signed big money to be a number one, and then they panned out to be a number one.
And that's what happened
It's
with
hard.
Peerless. He was
Yeah.
there with Eric Mose. Eric Mose, unheralded number one,
Yes.
but a number one.
A true one.
A true one.
Eric who?
Eric
Modes.
Modes. He was
Mississippi
in Buffalo.
State.
Modes.
A dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's on like one of them NFL lists of most unheralded stars.
Yes, yeah.
Like he just was a dude and nobody heard about fully. And then Peerless got paid and went to Atlanta.
Atlanta Falcons.
And
Yep.
it just was different. Peerless
Yeah.
the homie, but it was different.
Yeah,
he
it's
was not a
hard.
true number one, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna try to be that dude no matter where. And if I got a ceiling over me, and it's because somebody else in my way, I'm not the team player like that. I'm the one that like I gotta go somewhere and go get mine. I'm not gonna stay here and that. But you're saying that's the way that they should play it. How you see it?
I want to piggyback off of something you said, because you said with both of them getting that contract, it's not going to guarantee a championship, obviously, but it's going to help them with winning.
Yeah.
That plays into what I said last week when we were
Nobody
talking
talking about
about
last week.
Don't
That
run
talked
from
about
it.
January
Don't-
13th.
Hey,
We was talking about.
don't run from the smoke. Don't run from the smoke.
All right.
You said, when I said last week, I'm like, it's going to work against him with DK and Pickens, because Pickens still want his money,
Yeah.
and DK went and got that big contract. You say, oh, that's not going to change nothing. No, it makes a difference because they both got paid, so now they both happy.
Yeah.
So I do think it's going to help them because for that reason. But just piggyback on going to that last conversation, you prove my previous point, which is why they won't work.
Because
For other reasons too.
Jamar and T. Higgins are close friends.
Right.
Pickens and DK don't even know each
because
other, and they
both
have
got
different
paid.
characters.
Imagine if Chase got a big deal and Higgins
T-
did it. You think that
Man,
you
and
think that wouldn't have affected the locker room?
That's
And it
what
gives
I'm
them
trying to
time.
tell you. If you go talk to the people who are at the Bengals, they are close like this. They
I'm
don't.
sure.
They're not saying I want to get paid more than him.
Right.
It's not. They're not doing this. In most locker rooms, it's this.
And I think they got the same agent.
I just
too,
want to say
Yeah.
this too. You said
which
most
is Donald Penn's agent.
in most
DPs.
locker rooms it is that.
Yeah.
But coming from somebody who's been in the locker room, the two things that break up the locker room is what? Money
and women.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. How much?
This is
and
not
what's
one
her
of
name?
those
as good
scenarios.
friends as they, I know, but as good as friends they are,
Yeah.
you tell me if one got the big payday and the other one didn't, you don't think that would have
You
affected
mean
them?
like
No.
if they kept
No.
Higgins on the franchise?
Yeah.
No.
And then one got
They're still
one got
gonna-
the big
no.
contract, and the other one didn't. It definitely would
No,
have had an impact.
you want to
on
know
that
what would
locker
have
room.
impacted the quarterback.
I mean, that's always going to come into
No,
play
it's-
when it comes to receivers.
Again, when they're if me and you are boys, right? You can go get your money. You can go do whatever. We're still gonna be boys at the end of the day, right? Now, the way we handle a third party is how me and you. Man, I ain't really messing with him because he got you money, but he didn't get me money. That's how the perception would be.
Right, but it depends on the type of boys you are, because that goes both ways. You could
They're
be
tight. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
They're
but
tight.
I've seen money break up friendships
I'm
too.
about to say, ain't nobody in this world I'm that tight with. Like,
Right,
fuck
like,
that.
money
Because,
breaks up
if
boys
I know
all the
I ain't
time.
getting mine and you getting yours and we in the same place, either I got to leave this place or you got to go. Because
but
the
you're
place,
like, but everybody's not like that though.
Why
I'm
they
not
not?
like.
It's a smaller percentage. That's my point. It's a smaller percentage of people
Who
who
ain't like
are
me?
like that. It's
I'm not like you.
You staying still and just taking haircuts.
I'm like that too.
millions
You just-
But everybody's not like
you just
that.
taking haircuts like, oh, I love this game.
That's the minority. You got to realize that's the minority.
You're starting to show your selfish side. I don't know.
You
You're,
ain't met me yet. He
never denied it.
What do you mean?
I didn't know.
I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider.
You know what? With me.
Now I know.
He always
There's
said
some
it.
sides. There's some
Let's
side
back-
that
let's
you
back this up.
I've
Let's
never
back-
known.
Can
This
we
is the
back
same
this
guy
up?
who said he ain't care about all of that. He wanted his money.
Yeah.
He said that out the gate. He
Yeah,
always-
I didn't play football for a Super Bowl championship, and I know that could sound a lot of different ways to a lot of people who didn't play. But I said I'm going to give my 100%, and I'm going to get as much of 100% return on my investment, and that's life. Everything else, because look, you can't raise your hand and say I'm going to win a championship. I could have chased teams and never won, or I could have been drafted to New England like anticipated, some say. And I would have won 3 before I even got off the bench.
Yeah.
So it's like I wasn't on that pursuit. It would have been great to do it in a pursuit of what I really wanted, which is to play my damn best and get rewarded for playing my best. That was it.
So was this a financial chase more than a trophy championship chase for an NFL career?
All about the money.
What do you mean in terms of did I really want a trophy? No. I didn't want that.
But
value.
you really wanted money, but you didn't really want a trophy.
Well, I knew what money meant. Money meant I was balling.
Yeah.
So it
Okay, I
answered
see. I get
itself.
that.
Like I couldn't get paid if I wasn't doing it. So I was like, that ensures I'm doing it. Championships don't. I know dudes who won championships didn't even play in the Super Bowl. I know dudes who won championships didn't even play that year. I'm like, damn, you got a ring? Cool. I wanted to be like, I'm a ball.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted to do and let that balling take me. But, I'm raised in Buffalo. We ain't won no championships. So, you know what I mean?
Because there's a
wouldn't be that
big
dude.
difference between 53 guys in the locker room. Everybody's not going to think like you or me, whatever. But it's like there's a bunch of different reasons. I don't think I played for that. I don't think I played for the money neither. Mine was more, I guess, of prove to myself of being able to play at this level type of deal. And again, I probably would chase that more than a physical check or a trophy. And then talk to a fourth person. It might be different all the way around, but I don't think a lot of people really play for the trophy, in my opinion.
No.
I just
I think
don't.
that's a great narrative. I think that's what we sell the public to keep them coming.
So why would you have to leave if that were the case?
If I were somewhere and I wasn't getting paid,
Right, like so if you and Hatch had a thing and he got his and you got franchised.
oh, franchise is getting paid to me.
Okay,
Top
to
five
me too,
average.
to me too.
To me too.
To me
Oh, I'm
too.
staying still. 1 year, what, 38, 40, whatever the
The
hell.
the less years you always sign for is the best part of the deal anyway.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a
how I
Kirk Cousins.
feel.
I'm Kirk Cousins. Give me a franchise, okay?
Over
give it to
and
me
over.
again. Okay, you can't give it to me again.
Yeah.
Oh, about that.
knock your head off.
Yeah, but I
Pause.
would leave a situation. Yeah, I gotta crack you. Yeah.
Yes, it is, nigga. Yes, it is.
Oh, they all locked up.
Yeah, we gotta-
We
yeah.
unlock them. But I would leave
That's a
because
sign that it wasn't
you
false.
only got this much time to play. And it's weird how the owners that run this job on and holds players into thinking like hometown discounters, stay still, and it's your bottom line is not the same as our bottom line. I'm like, y'all ain't taking no haircuts. Hot dogs go up every year in this stadium, right? And water goes up. So why should I have to take the discount because that's the way the cap is structured? I was like, well, let's make sure I get mine out of this deal because I know
And then go
you gonna
then
get
go
yours.
structure it.
And then go, and then go restructure this shit. So speaking of that, Josh Allen has left $5 million on the table in his contract extension for a hometown discount.
Better known as pocket change.
Yeah, pocket change. Except everybody got begging ass cousins, and everybody begging ass cousin could use a $5 million bonus, or you could put it away for the family. Anything. Would y'all do that?
Absolutely.
Who's taking the hometown discount to build the team?
I would.
I'm listening. I'm listening. Why?
Because as he said, that when you get in that type of money, that $5 million is not gonna make a difference. He lives in Buffalo, where you can't even spend $5 million on a house. So he's already you can't
ain't
like
lying.
literally you can't like.
I just went back and saw my old house, and I was like, "This is
It was
all it
probably
appreciated."
like $2 million at the very most.
No,
right?
no, it's 300,000.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, I bought it
now?
for now I bought it for 180, I think, something like back then.
That's free.
no, I'm telling you, I got a house that's up there, and it's nice.
That's free.
This
LA terms, 300,000 is free.
You got
in
mansions
LA.
up there that's not even $1 million.
Yeah,
and
he's
they
right.
mansions.
A mansion.
So if I'm him, it's like and especially if he's trying to win and you can spread that money out, that $5 million to other guys on the team to build.
Yeah.
His life is not changing at all. And like
Well, it is.
He
It's
said,
$5
I got a
million
car,
less.
I got a house.
You're $5 million less.
Yeah, that only matters based on the lifestyle you live. And from how he said it, hey, I got a car, I got a house, I'm good. He not spending that $5 million anyway. It's just gonna sit. So
See, that's the job that they ran on us. Like, $5 million doesn't mean anything to you. It means more for us to go spend it frivolously on this team that ain't gonna win the Super Bowl. Like, where the $5 million going? You remember Tom Brady? They told him to take a haircut, and we gonna give this money to Wes Welker. And then they ain't give it to Wes Welker. And then Tom Brady said, "What the hell?" And then they start bucking on Tom Brady. And then Wes Welker left. And then he was like, "Okay, all right." And that's when their relationship started to sour. Yeah. Because it was like, dog, even if you do right with the money, ain't no guarantee we gonna win it all. So I'm going to give you some money and then hope you're going to do right with it, and there's no guarantee. I'm keeping my money because I earned it with my
Isn't
play.
that what they all do? I mean, you got to hope for the best. I mean, but it's a good
Right.
sign that he's taking that cut to build that team.
Build what, though? Last year, who won? Philadelphia Eagles.
They were at the AFC Championship.
And Jalen Hurts took every dollar he could get. And they still won that damn
but you
championship.
got a better chance spending it on the other guys than not doing it.
I don't believe that's true. And let me just use this example as this. I remember a couple Super Bowls ago, it was like 49ers and Kansas City. And one team, I think it was Kansas City, had the highest payroll.
Right.
And then 49ers had the lowest payroll because I think
because
Brock
the
Purdy.
quarterback.
Because the quarterback. And they were both in the Super Bowl. That proves the point of, like, they lying to us. Like, dog, no matter how you get there, but there ain't no formula to success. You could be the one that spends the most. You can one that spends the least. It's just about getting there.
There is
All
a
right,
formula.
what's the formula?
The formula is to get that quarterback who overperforms early. and you only have to pay them $500,000, $600,000.
Oh yeah.
That's the formula,
Right, but that's not
the formula to win the Super Bowl.
That's
though.
not a hometown discount conversation because you already got to build
That's
in.
true.
One in
That's
the first
true.
4 years of the rookie contract. Like no one's.
Two
When's the
or
last time that happened?
Yeah, but you see those.
I mean, it's
you see those.
nice if that
like,
could happen.
like,
If Purdy would have won a championship, you'd been 100% right. But he didn't,
Roethlisberger.
you know, so like
Mahomes did it right.
Did Mahomes do it?
in his first 4 years? He
Yeah,
did?
Mahomes did it on his 4th year, right? His third
year.
Third year?
Was
it
that
third?
before they restructured his contract, or was that after?
Yeah,
He got paid after.
No, he got paid after one of them rings for sure.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
I just think
But
it's
not a lot. I get it. It's
I
not
just
a
think
lot.
they
Play
I
the
think
game.
they really just
Yeah.
are running the fog over us and saying, look, I'm sorry, guys. The only way we could really build this team is obviously there's a salary cap, so we got to respect that. And I think it's close to $300 million now.
Yeah.
But this is all we got. And if Josh gives us a little more of it back, you know, we can really get us another third receiver. And I'm like, dog, figure it out without me having to take the haircut, without me taking the pitch. And that's selfish.
Isn't it the every conversation with an agent and the team though, that with every single player, they're going to try to get every single player a little bit less than what they're worth.
True.
So it's part of the game.
But y'all giving it back?
Yeah.
Him intentionally taking a discount, or was it like, hey, this is what we offering you, and he's like, all right, I'm good with that, and just took it?
I think he got the Supermax, whatever the hell that was. Like, he could have got the 60. He ended up getting 55 or something like that. He could have got more.
60, right. He
And
coulda
I
got
look,
more.
Sure.
one arm salutes him for like, I just saw him this weekend. I mean, congrats and
Shoulda
thank
asked
you.
him.
Nah, because I disagree with him. I don't want to beef with him. When
That's
I
what
just,
you should.
like, sorry, my son Cass, damn it. Like, I don't want to be beefing with him. But the flip side is, dog, at the end of your career, that money gone. Like, you can say what you want, what you could do,
I see what
and
you're
what you
saying.
couldn't do.
Yeah, 'cause
that
when-
money's
I see exactly
gone.
what
When you're
saying.
35,
that $5
40.
million would appreciate it a lot.
Oh, that,
Get that
that,
to- get that
That
$5 million to your
$5 million is
financial
20.
advisor.
That
See what he
$5
do with
million
it.
is $20 million.
you will never
When you're
find
50.
any financial advisor who's like, yeah, just give him $5 million back.
Yeah,
Financial advisor like, oh,
and
okay.
there's no such thing as making money back.
no.
But yeah, but it's
once
the
it's gone,
philosophy.
it's gone.
That money's
It-
gone.
but it's
That
the
money is
philosophy.
gone.
If you never had it.
Well, if you could,
That's what he's
if
saying.
you
It's
could have
not
signed
gone.
for it,
Could have, would have.
But
But
and
that's
you
basing it off of
didn't, you're-
ifs.
But people say you'll make that money back. No,
But you
you
can't.
won't make
That's
that
living
money
off
back.
of ifs. If my aunt was a man, she'd be my uncle. We can't go off of ifs.
But
If you
sometimes
never had
when
the
you-
money, you never had it.
But sometimes
That's
you may
not
like
it.
that's
Was
not
the
an
fifth
if.
version better.
Yeah, that's
That's
not
not
an
a, that's not an if.
No,
If you got it.
No, that's
if
a.
I
that's
offer
a-
you $100, I say right now $100 for the ski jacket. You like, and then you was like,
man, give me
give
95.
90, give me 95.
That's
you
if
had
that's not an if.
$100.
If you offered it, maybe they didn't
All
offer
right,
him
I'm
that.
offering you 100.
Well, how is he getting a discount?
That's if you offered
How you
it.
getting a discount if
They
didn't
may not
offer?
have offered him
Nah,
the 60.
they
They offered him 55, and he said,
No.
all right. They could have offered him 50. And he's like, no, I want
Now
55.
you're playing ifs because they did offer him, and he said, "I don't need all of that.
Give me
I'm fi-
$5 less.
You
I'll
can
take
give me
$5
$5 less,
I didn't see
so
that.
I can
just
build
heard him
it."
say they offered- he offered 55.
You
and
like
he took
that?
it.
I like that, man.
Why?
Because he's saying, man, I want to win.
You like
I-
that?
I
if
gotta-
that,
I
if that
wanna
was
win.
your son,
He-
you would
and
You
be
can
like
say
that.
I want to win and I want it all too.
You
Like
can.
Kendrick said, I want it all.
You need other
Yeah.
players and you need other people that want the same thing you want around you.
I was gonna ask a question.
Go ahead. Here's the question. I'm sorry. Here's a question. Didn't y'all go out a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Right. Who paid for the majority of the bill? Or did
We chipped in
Yeah,
on the
we just-
table.
we just split it.
We
exactly.
split the table.
We all split it kind of even, right?
Yeah.
None of y'all said, "Hey, I'm going to take 20% more. You can pay less. You can pay less. I'm going to pay more." None of y'all did that.
No.
It's the exact same thing. So when it comes, if I say, "Here, give me this shoe right here," and you give it to me, that's like him saying no to $5 million. It's not a big deal when you got $300 million.
But here's the thing. I'm glad you said this because we're former athletes. And I remember being in the club 937 times. And like when the bill came, I'm like, I got it. Here's 2,000.
Yes.
4,000.
Yes.
3,000.
Yes.
It ain't a big deal.
It ain't a big
and
deal.
And then you look back and you like,
big
yo,
deal.
No,
I could have had.
No, hold on.
Go ahead.
That's not a big deal only to somebody who made a couple million.
No. It's all relative.
No, it's not. When you got 300,
Hold on.
When you
5
got
million
300?
5 million to 300 is, let's get this right, Wiley.
Y'all know
what's
Hatchet paying that
What's the
tax, I'll tell you
percentage?
that.
6%. Huh?
what the percentage?
Yeah.
It's like 2.5, like 2%. It's 2%.
Okay. So a 2% bill wasn't a big deal. It could be $1,000. It could be $500.
Right.
Play with the math. But when you're done and you add that up and what it could have been, that is a deal. That number is a real deal.
But that goes back to what I said in the beginning. You was outsiders based on your lifestyle.
Yeah.
He's in Buffalo. He don't live like his lifestyle is very different from some others. So that $5 million may not affect him the way it would affect others.
No, but
He's
the
not spending
$5
that
million.
much.
Hold on.
Fellas,
I think we.
nope,
You don't attach it to life. Attach it to a number. Numbers. That's why I love numbers, because they don't care about you. It's not English. It's like, did you get the number right? Yes or no? $5 million appreciation. What?
It's
6% safe in 20
million
years when
in
he
20
retires will be what? $17 million.
It'd be $20
and somebody
million
would be like, "Oh, that ain't nothing. You
Don't worry
made
about it.
330." I could have made 347. What you mean?
But you
what
don't,
you mean?
you wouldn't be thinking about it like that. If you had 200 in the bank today,
Nothing.
How you know I don't? Because you know.
He got it.
because we don't have no breakfast here, nigga, that's why. Right? That's how I know. If you had 200 in the bank when y'all went out on Saturday,
Yeah.
you would have paid for that bill. Cause when you got. Again, we're talking.
No.
Listen to me,
No,
Sell
I'm
this.
done
When
with
you're
that.
talking,
Don't put that out there.
No,
Don't
hold on. When you have a certain amount, when you're over 100 milli, it's a total different world. You know that.
No, I agree
what you
with
make
you
it, man.
in terms of it doesn't hit you the same.
Yes.
However, knowing a couple billionaires, not me.
Yes.
When we hang, they looking
Yeah,
like
man.
because you know it's about
You're
almost
right.
like a esteem, respect. Like don't be coming over here knowing it's all good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they be like, or you pick up the bill. Like it's always. And when I not even retired, when I was getting mature with my money, I was like, dog, why
am I
all these
always
dudes got
pay-
fired out? Nobody offering the
I ain't getting
parking.
nothing on the gas.
Nobody got off. You ain't got no snaps on the petrol.
Nothing.
Well, pump my
Nothing.
shit. Like somebody
got to do something.
Somebody got to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, you looking at grown ass men who will buy Jordans,
But not pay you back.
but
no
would not give me
$20.
$10 on a
They
damn
won't give you
tab, and they
10.
brought all them girls over here that I didn't like.
And drank everything I paid.
That was personal.
What you did?
Then it got personal.
Wait, Just they bought Jordans to go out with you for you to pay.
For me to pay. And then I'm like, give me at least Jordan money.
Yeah.
Like 100. You can't put
I
100.
get what you're saying. But
Is that true?
It's true, but
Everybody got a kitty. Everybody got a
Yeah.
kitty where it's like, it'd be nice to just have fun with that, right?
yeah.
And Josh Allen doesn't need it,
Right.
but someone in Josh Allen's circumference
Circle.
would want it or may need
Could
it.
use
or
it.
could use it.
Yeah.
And the owners know that. That's why they love the salary cap. That's why they fight so adamantly and when it comes to our negotiations.
Of course,
and that's why they keep raising ticket prices, despite if the team is good or bad. They keep raising up the emissions, the price of a ticket, the price of
Parking,
concessions.
everything, yeah.
Everything goes up. And they just skate scot-free without the negative connotation like
That's what
players.
you're
Think
saying.
about what Pat Mahomes' salary would be if there was no salary cap.
It'd be baseball.
Think about what like Michael
be
Jordan
baseball.
or LeBron or anybody would get paid.
I got a question though.
That would be
for
nuts.
the former players. Like when a player takes a pay cut, does it build camaraderie in the locker room with you guys? Do you guys does it work? When that
To me, it
happens?
does. To him, no.
He's like, you idiot. You should have kept it, nigga.
They don't love you. They don't care about you. You out of here anyway.
I'm listening. How, Sway?
Because again,
Where, Sway?
I was always the role player anyway, so
Okay.
I would probably bond more to somebody else playing their role, right?
So y'all were the NARPS.
If I knew what that meant, I would say yeah. Right? I was a professional narc, but no, I didn't. Back then it was a little bit different because only the
narc.
quarterbacks were getting paid, right? And only like the superstar, other 2 or 3 superstars were getting paid. Now everybody's getting paid, so it's a little bit different. But to me, it's the amount that's different. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. It's hard to blow that. The money back then, I guess we said if somebody signed for a $20 million contract, we might have said they go be broke, right? We might have said that.
Yeah.
People who signing for this 100 and 200, they're not going. It's different. It's a
I
different.
wasn't in the locker room, but I would think it would only affect the person who's also a free agent trying to get them. Like if he was a role player, and now it's your year to get paid. then that $5 million, you look at that differently because now you know some of that could possibly
come
to
to me, yeah.
But if everybody else already got paid, I feel like it's like
To me, it's selfish
like,
not to
Take
take as much as you can get because you're setting the market. So imagine if you're Josh Allen and you're like, oh, I'm Josh Allen. I don't need 60. I only need 55. So then when it comes to who's next up, let's just say Jaden Daniels. And then they looking at Jaden Daniels like, you kind of Josh Allen. And they may say, you're not better than him. And then they say, well, your ceiling is 55. Now, they won't do this, but that's agent speak. That's how them owners get down. They're like, why am I going to pay you more than Josh Allen? We're your Super Bowl. You're not better than him. He won an MVP. And now you 55, and you could have been 60. And Jaden Daniels' family certainly would take the extra $5 million. I know them.
That's why they was mad at Tom Brady all them years. Because he kept taking less, and all the other top quarterbacks, well, they had to go for that.
But the whole point of setting the market, though, also hurts us as players. Deshaun Watson set the market, and that took us back 20 years because for them to give him because they guaranteed him money. Yeah. Every owner in the world saying we will never do that again.
Not a fully. Ever.
Not fully. In Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, but that's what they're saying. So he set the market, and as players, oh yeah, he gonna be the first one. Then it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me, and it ain't gonna be nobody.
Well, no one's getting a fully guaranteed. They keep closing the gap between what the total value is and the guarantee. But to that point, they have given out more guaranteed money, but it's not the total contract, which we were like caught off guard when they did it to him. We was like, what?
I was shocked.
Somebody just got paid a cornerback from Houston.
Yeah, Stingley.
Stingley Jr. He got 89 guaranteed off of a $90 million deal. Same agent, David Mulugheta.
That's amazing. Made it 90.
So, I mean, David Mulugheta out here eating. He's killing it. But guaranteed contracts in the NFL, like, is that a deterrent or is that really like an issue for you?
If I'm an owner, I'm not doing it.
Because?
Because injuries and you act a fool when you get guaranteed money. Again, I can only give you.
Do you?
Well, wait a minute.
No, but look at other sports.
Basketball and baseball.
Yeah,
do you? Basketball,
if you guys want to talk about the reality, and you guys want to show me a player who got guaranteed money.
Everybody outside of football has guaranteed
I'm about to
money.
say,
I agree, Andy.
Who is not acting a fool after they get the money.
Most of them.
Well, then I don't want to pay you to act a fool.
You're showing up on the field. That's all that matters.
You're not showing up.
It's in the contract. You can't act a fool because if
let me ask you.
Motorcycle, for example.
Who is acting?
Yeah, who is acting a fool? Are we talking just football because it's such a collision
I'm going to go back to just football because I'm not even going to get into the
violent
NBA.
sport. Because it is different variables. A violent sport is different than shooting free throws when you hit me.
Absolutely.
You're like, if you shoot free throws when you get hit, I ain't never going to stop balling for this money. But in football, it's a different deterrent.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen somebody who got the big money, and as soon as he got the money, you said, you ain't never going to see him again?
He shut it down?
You know he going to shut it down.
Well, I've seen some shut it down.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I know they going to shut it down.
It happens in basketball, too.
It happens in all sports. I get it. But that's why, as an owner, I'm not giving you guaranteed money. Because I know what you going to do.
But you getting your money.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But as an owner,
I'm the boss.
I agree with you, but as an owner, they're getting their money.
So, because they're the owner.
Right. All right. But you making your money because of them. So guarantee their money.
Owner, you're the boss.
They don't have the product isn't the same if you guys don't perform. Right?
Right.
That's why Deshaun Watson got the money he got because they know that team wasn't going to perform.
Did they perform with him? Huh? Did they perform with him is what I'm asking you.
No, what I'm saying is they don't provide the contracts for you guys to perform, then their team isn't worth as much.
The
team
reason
wasn't
why
Kansas City Chiefs are as worth as much as they are now
with him. With the guaranteed money because he didn't play well. He didn't live up to any of
that's
not an if. You want to know why it's not an if?
I'm hoping that
you want to know why it's not an if?
It's an if.
Because when I seen it, I said you ain't never go see him again.
What happened? What happened in
Cleveland?
You know
people.
What happened in Cleveland before that?
Didn't think that.
What was going on in the QB room?
You don't got the same information I got.
They were in the front office. They were bleeding out.
Tell the camera that.
Put him in the front office.
Thank you.
You got one right.
I got a lot right, fellas. I got a lot of them right.
Exception,
No, it's not the exception. We said Albert Haynesworth.
Well, no,
there's a lot.
Hold on, you went back 20 years and say your first example. Stop it.
I got a lot of examples.
Well, plus,
Drop some names.
Name drop. What are you talking about? Who? It ain't even a snitch. It's on record. We
it's
just
on
don't
record.
remember.
Okay, when Antonio Brown got his money with the Raiders, did y'all really think that was gonna work?
That wasn't his first time getting paid, though.
My point.
No,
you shouldn't even have got paid.
That's a good example, though. That's a good example.
Okay, I'll give you another one.
He got paid before he went to the Raiders.
I know, and then he
didn't act a fool.
You're right. He dropped the ball because he was about to get another payday.
That's my he
so
got
he's already
64.
paid.
Yeah.
That's my why pay him again?
No, you're making my point. My point is some guys get paid and they keep balling.
I think it was like one
He
more
didn't
day.
keep
He just
balling.
had to make the roster one more day, and he was about to get another payday.
Every
and
quarterback
dropped the ball.
from yesteryear, all that John Elway, Dan Marino, them dudes were eating for that time.
For that time, I agree.
And they kept balling.
I agree.
Not a single soul
I
stopped
agree.
balling. All these legends on the wall behind me, like a Bruce Smith, and them,
I agree.
eating. Like every time he got paid, 10 more sacks, 20 more sacks, right?
I agree, yes.
So when did this whole once again, they keep fooling us. They show you Albert Haynesworth. Oh, we shouldn't guarantee their money. Why? Albert Haynesworth, Antonio Brown, 2.
No, there's plenty.
Plenty.
You keep saying give you another one. I gave you another one.
Give me one.
I just gave you Antonio, right?
Okay.
And we're talking about the Deshaun Watson scenario, right?
Okay.
Now, again, if you want to go to quarterback specifically, I think that's something totally different. I just do.
It is.
right?
It's a different animal.
It's a different animal.
Because they ain't getting hit the same.
Ain't getting hit, and it depends on really
Right.
the other 52 guys,
Right.
have to play well, right? Who was the defensive end who left the DN got paid?
1986 or
That's
87?
hilarious.
This mother ain't got no examples, dog.
That's hilarious.
I swear, they run the best game.
Not Ramsey.
Jalen Rams.
He got balled.
He got at the Rams, right?
Yeah,
he got paid.
he
Yeah, he
balled.
balled
He
the
balled.
Rams.
Won the championship. But
What
he didn't
you
ball
gotta
for
remember
Miami.
is
Championship after
the
he got
people
paid.
who are getting these big contracts have good work ethic.
They
ethics.
earned this money.
No,
They
no,
For the
earned
most
this
part.
money.
No. I'm talking.
wait.
Here's what I'm talking about. The ones that don't. We sit here and we say, you know what? They should. He don't have this, and this, and then the team gives them the amount of money, and then guess what they say? The exact same thing. Like you should have you shouldn't have given the money if he was that before.
Right.
He's gonna be worse than that after.
Right,
but they
right.
keep doing that. Is all I'm
there's no
saying.
way
That
I
is
was giving
that's
Antonio
retarded.
Brown a whole lot of money.
Right.
Come on.
He had shown his ass already.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dog, there is this
They didn't want to pay
quote.
Saquon.
There's a discontent for money.
Right. Looking like the Giants.
See, this is the quote, and it's from Michael Corleone. They said, and I guess what's that? Godfather. Discontent for money is just a trick of the rich to keep the poor without it. So that's a bar. So they make it seem like
I agree with that.
oh, the money ain't the problem. It's the hunger. It's the desire, and we keep losing it, right? And they highlight an example or two that shows you somebody lost their desire because they got money. But they don't tell you how many people got the money because they had the desire and they kept it going. That's why they rich. So they throw you off and give you these 3 highlights.
Who are they? You're one of them now.
That's why I try to get every dollar I could, right? Because if you don't, you're going to get caught up in this perception game. Like,
I agree.
you didn't take all your money, and I love you, and we gave it to everyone else on the team and didn't do shit, but don't tell everybody.
nobody.
Like, you know what I mean? That's like, dog, what do you mean? And I know how y'all living. Like,
So do you
on a
think
jet
that
for
you
that
think
money you
that's
take.
just the American way? Do you think that's because if you want to, because now we're talking about the top to bottom, right?
Yeah.
From the Rothschilds all the way to the Fords and all these families. It's the same, I guess, life philosophy if we're really going to talk about the money aspect of sports, because the owners they're all doing the same thing.
as you would as an owner too. Look, everybody in here has a business, Carver, your Chick-fil-A. Yeah. You ain't trying to pay nobody any more than you have to. I'm not saying shush. Everybody who work with me, work for me. I am negotiating you down as hard as I can with respect. Like, I'm not trying to get you broke. I'm not even trying to minimum wage you, even if I could. I give you something, but I'm not trying to give you the most. I'm not starting a negotiation when I know I can get you for $5,000 a month. I'm not starting it at 50,000 a month.
Hence the $5 million less.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
let's meet over in the corner. We
Yeah.
gotta unionize. We gotta unionize right now.
Let's see where this is going.
That's his hand. He showed his
That's
hand.
funny.
So y'all gonna boycott? Y'all gonna boycott Sal's? Y'all gonna boycott Sal's? Speaking of boycott, look at this transition. Players are boycotting Stephen A. Smith, they say. Players like Drake, my boy good, that boy good.
He good and terrible.
Like Draymond Green, allegedly, because of the LeBron confrontation. Like people picking their sides.
Yeah.
Where you from, cuz? Where you from, blood?
What side you
Like,
from, blood?
Yeah, what it do, homie? For
side
real. On mine, homie.
On me. On me.
And look, I live in a world where I'm starting to learn, and I'm being bullheaded about it. I hate picking sides, but I see like this world is just always on your head if you don't pick a side, right? So players are picking LeBron's side, and they're trying to out Stephen A. Smith. What do y'all think about this confrontation? Right or wrong move to avoid Stephen A. Smith?
It's not. I don't pick sides. I don't. I know you hate it. I know you hate it, but I don't pick sides, right? I don't care enough to pick a side. Number one. Number two, I like what's going on because I said this 5-6 years ago with the pod.
Oh, it's okay for you to bring up some old shit, but not him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Just Salaaam salam ass off the cooler.
He's saying some shit we can't even double check.
No,
we don't know.
It's not about me. It's
5,
about
6
the
years ago.
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago, the industry of this sports media is what I'm talking about. Not me personally, right? But when players, athletes, entertainers, whatever, started getting on their own social platforms, it was over. Because now they have their own voice, right? We've been waiting on the ESPNs and NFL networks and the Foxes to tell our side of it. We can't do that no more. So this just goes to show that all the players or the people who are in the arena have all the power.
Damn.
And that's just the reality of where it's going. We're still in the middle. We're not even in the middle. Maybe at the beginning. We don't know. But the players can tell their own side of it now. So they're going to – we don't need Stephen A. to say, oh, he went for a triple-double. We don't care. We can go on our own social media platform who's got 30 million or 20 million and talk about our own story.
You know what's amazing about what you just said is that we've heard that. You perfectly articulated that. And we all get that. And we see it. We see the transition. Even though I don't think it's absolute, I think you still need ESPN. But ESPN is sitting back and fighting back. Stephen A. Smith is sitting back with his boys, group texting. He's like, guess what? I don't need them either. I don't have to go to games. I don't even have to talk about X's and O's. Y'all noticed in media, it went from regurgitating the website with facts. I wish you would get up there now and start talking about yards per carry and talking about how many touchdowns. People don't care. They want to hear what your opinion is. What's your gossip, whatever intel you have. So Stephen A. is like, oh, they don't want to talk to me? Oh, they don't want me to get the pure dope? They want me to just tell them what I think about all these situations or use my sources? Now he can do his job even easier without even getting the real information from them if they want to say, we don't want to talk about it. That's the flip side. I don't think a lot of people want to talk about.
That would lessen Stephen A.'s status.
How?
Because
you don't get the real
that turns him into me. If you don't have access to the players and inside information almost journalistically, all you're doing is giving an opinion, which is exactly what I'm doing from Los Angeles, California. And he where he has a high road and these other guys on the networks, Fox and ESPN, is that you almost assume that they know.
There you go.
More
I was waiting
than
for you to walk into it.
That's
It's
assume.
nothing but branding and marketing. Stephen A. ain't been in no Philadelphia 76 locker room like he used to on the Daily Beast.
Exactly. But we have that perception, right?
Right.
But if we know that ain't no ball players talking to him,
Then we ain't gonna listen to him no
we don't
more.
give a shit what he has to say because all he can do is look at a game and dissect it just like I can.
But the game is more than just the players. The game is who's working with the players, who's the agent, who's the coaches, who's the general manager, who's the owner. Oh, everybody telling me this, and you, the player, probably don't want to talk to me because it's true. I can run with story after story after story. Imagine Dak Prescott, and you don't have a relationship with Dak Prescott. Allegedly, he doesn't have a relationship with LeBron either. They said they ain't talked in like 10 years, LeBron and Stephen A. Whatever. I don't know if that's true. That's what Nick Wright said. Point being, they spoke last week.
LeBron spoke.
That's got a problem.
They
Isn't
listen.
it? That's kind of problem.
LeBron spoke.
chest
See what they
down.
listen. That's
Right.
But said a lot last week.
But be real about that. It's like, dog. So we ain't got no relationship, and all that LeBron talk. Because Nick Wright said, look, Jordan and Stephen A. are buddies. They text all the time. He ain't talked to LeBron in 10 years. And you know how many times we done heard him talk about LeBron and the GOAT conversation
Every day
LeBron
for
gave
10 years.
every day. So for 10 years, he been talking about that. Just like you could go up there and talk about Dak right now, and you ain't seen Dak since you seen
we
Dak.
didn't know that until now.
Right. So to your perception argument.
Right.
But to him,
Yeah.
but to him, he's like, I've been doing my job without a relationship. I can still do that with the perception of, oh, they don't want to talk to me? Trust me. Somebody does. Like, I got some friends, right? Like, the whole league ain't going to shut them down, right?
You said Michael Jordan, so that's enough. That's all he need right there.
Yeah.
This is what Mike.
Well, in today's media,
Jordan doesn't
nobody
mean
he doesn't
nothing
mean
in the
nothing in the
league, in the
media
league right now.
What
In
you
the
think,
league, he does nothing
Just
in the
Blaze?
media.
What you think?
Well, I'm with you, but I also believe once as Stephen A. has moved up, the perception is that his connects move up. So at a lower level, yeah, you're talking directly to the player because you're in the locker room, but we know he's not in the locker rooms no more.
Yeah.
So now he's speaking to agents, executives, upper management that's giving him information directly. So as you said, like he doesn't have to speak to the players. They can form whatever wall they want, but you still look at him as he's got some source of information from a higher
But
level.
nothing,
Now,
nothing
but
that's
see,
as powerful as the player, though.
Right, and this goes back to what we
Depends.
talked about,
Depends.
and I mentioned before when we had a topic. Why would Stephen A. expose these conversations? Blah blah blah. And I said he was trying to cover his ass because he was getting ready to lose the LeBron Rich Paul relationship. Right. Well, he was already going to get paid, but now you
show that I'm in
like you
tune
just
with X, Y, and
said,
Z.
he still has the agents and the play and some other people. You just cut off probably the most important agent in basketball.
No, not one of
The most
the-
influential.
the-
Yeah,
But I'm not following. So you're saying while he was under contract negotiations in him, he wanted to out LeBron?
His contract was going to be his contract.
Okay, so
That-
you were saying that?
That's what
I
Justin
think
was
he
saying.
used that his contract was probably going to be his contract, but from his standpoint, I think he used that as leverage because he didn't need to put out that Rich Paul and all of them had been reaching out to him.
Yeah.
I felt like he did that as a power play. Like you see how how connected I am, how tied in I am with
Everybody.
big wigs.
Yeah.
You guys need me. Look who's calling me. Every time I say something, look who's reaching out to me.
Wow.
To me, that's a power play.
That is a power play.
Yeah,
And
but
I-
now
and
he's
I
about to
don't think
lose
it's a power
that.
Well, no, he got his money already.
don't see
Well,
it.
he got his money, but
That's
you
what
still have
but
to
that's
have.
what I'm saying. That's the power play.
I don't
I'm
think-
gonna use this to get my money. Once I get my money, like all right.
And LeBron ain't gonna be there in the league probably
By the
5
end of his
years.
contract,
End of his contract.
yeah, he's
5
not there
more
no
years.
More. Yeah,
Interesting.
And then you know who? Then they're gonna need him more, because like Rich Paul is great, but his leverage is having LeBron. When
His
LeBron is
leverage
out the
having
league,
He ain't
then
gonna-
what?
He'll be hot
Well,
for the
he-
next 5 years
No,
or
his
10 years.
position,
but
he'll still be
yeah.
good.
Right.
But his leverage is LeBron.
Of course.
Well,
We got other
LeBron's the
players.
megaphone, even though he got contracts that
Who's his next biggest star under LeBron?
Oh, he's got.
Yeah, but it's
He's
not.
got all
not
of them.
superstar.
But,
Yeah,
but
he
wait
got
a minute,
everybody.
Justin.
Yeah, didn't he get Jalen Brown? No.
It's
Jalen's
still,
somebody
it's
else.
still
AD got
LeBron's
everybody. AD is
company.
next biggest.
He's not gonna. LeBron's not gonna retire and go away. It's still Clutch is still LeBron.
Clutch
No,
is
it
doing
is,
this.
of course.
And LeBron may even
He's
probably
for
be
sure just
more
getting into football.
He's a silent
involved with
owner.
Clutch.
He's for sure a silent owner.
Yeah, he's probably going to be more involved with it when
He
he
ain't gonna
retires.
be more involved. I mean, Clutch is killing it though, and they're gonna continue to kill it for
Yeah,
sure.
it's two different ways to kill it too. It's like the one that's loud, and then it's the one that's just with the loot. And I think he like you said, LeBron's loud with loot. Like he gonna get all that money, and he gonna be loud in
press.
terms of branding, marketing. But when you look at who else is gonna be loud for them in terms of like Clutch. All right, it says LeBron, Anthony Davis, Zach LaVine, John
Lonzo
Wall,
Ball,
Exactly.
Bledsoe,
Darius
Bridges,
Garland,
Draymond,
Anthony
these are my-
Davis.
These guys ain't
Tyrese Maxey.
ain't shifting nothing for you. Like those are good
If
players.
he had Luka, if he had Wemby, if
Right.
he had.
But some of these
Exactly.
guys
Those
on this
types of
list
players.
will be the next All-Star.
They're not gonna be LeBron. They're not gonna be
they
them
don't
guys.
have to be.
I hear you.
Wait a minute,
It
stop.
do when it comes to a power play.
It's multiple Supermax players on that list.
No, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. There's
But
loot.
Supermax is jaded.
No, loot
Supermax
is there.
is
Not
based
loud.
on the team you're on. Like
Their NFL
you could
roster
get a Supermax.
is
That doesn't
probably
mean
gonna
you a
be bigger than
superstar.
their NFL
Well, yeah, it
roster.
does.
is bigger.
Roster look like, what's
Because
that?
you have to get named to
Jalen,
one
Odell,
of you have to get named to one of the
DeAndre.
All-Pro
Right.
teams.
But to have power
You have to
in the
have played
game, you got to have
65
superstar
games.
players.
Yeah, so we saying the same thing. It's basically that's why I was trying to say loud and loot. Like loot, there's a lot of dudes who make money.
Yes.
That don't move the needle
Yes.
like you're saying in the power way. But LeBron does both. But how many names on that list does both?
But that's
Like,
my point. When
they
so
may
when
get
LeBron-
paid.
So as you said,
Yeah.
like LeBron's probably gonna be gone before his contract is before Stephen A's contract is up.
Mm-hmm.
So he made the power play to get his money. At this point, it don't matter whether his relationship is with them continues or not. It's like
Yeah.
I don't think Stephen A's contract is a big deal. I don't think ESPN is a big deal just
him it
because
is.
of where this sports media is going. Right? If it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when you got done playing, what'd you do on Sunday night? You would go home and watch ESPN, go watch SportsCenter. Players ain't doing that right now. They're just not. We'll go catch clips on social media,
Yeah.
right? Go to our own social media who's liking our stuff, but everybody's not running the Sports Center like they did 15 years ago, and it's not gonna get better because Stephen A is on there. Nobody cares about
I
that.
agree with you, but that's two different conversations.
Well, that's the
play-
original conversation.
Well, I'm saying, but whether the players are watching SportsCenter don't matter to Stephen A. He got his money.
I agree.
Him getting his money is all that matters.
To him,
Don't care
yeah.
who watches it at this point.
I agree to him.
So
Now-
we're talking about the play, like.
So
him
how's
doing
this
certain
going to
things.
play out? To your point, how's this play out? Like players are now, oh, you did a power play on LeBron, outed him, laughed at him, ridiculed him, and then got confronted. Then went on a rap tour saying, next time I see you, but
Easy.
I better not see you, right?
When I see you.
And so then the players say, oh, well, we ain't gonna talk to you anymore then. But how does this play out? Because it seems like if that's the case, Stephen A. power play was to crash out for the money. Now he got his money. Now what you gonna do? And what are the players gonna do in response to that? How's it play out?
They ain't doing nothing.
Players not doing
Because
nothing.
the people who said it's like Draymond. Ain't nobody chasing you down to talk to you anyway. Draymond at the tail end of his career.
Ain't nobody
That's
come to
what
see you,
J-Lo
Otis.
said- That's what he said about Stephen A.
Huh?
That's what he said about Stephen A.
Yeah, he's not gonna. He's like, but Draymond do anything to ride LeBron's coattail. So
Yeah.
it's like you
That's
saying
his dog.
that nobody was checking for you in the first place. So it's like, who
Well,
cares?
that's
The
my
young
point of
stars
sports
aren't saying
media.
that.
We're not tripping over you because we have our own. We got,
But
Sports
the
Center
young
go
stars are
have,
not saying
2
that.
million people
It's the
watching.
vets. The old
Their
vets are
own
saying
social
it.
media go have 10 million watching. They don't care about doing a Stephen A. interview.
Well, the young
But the
stars don't want to
agents
say
might.
anything because they like, one, that's y'all beef. Like he
Ain't got
ain't
nothing to do with me.
slandering me.
Still gonna talk to him.
One, I'm not in the GOAT conversation, so therefore I don't feel this anti-LeBron or this pro-Jordan
Right,
stuff.
ain't got nothing to do with me.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. I easily can make $800 million in my
And be
career,
cool.
and nobody talking about me bad, right?
Yep.
You could be like in that Jason Tatum,
Yes.
Jaylen Brown world, where you got other things to deal with, but this ain't a Stephen A. Smith necessary beef, except with them sources. But them sources, right? So Stephen A. Smith could source you to death. That's why I'm saying he don't need
Chris
connection.
Broussard.
I think the value
Yeah,
of
Chris
Stephen A.
Broussard.
Smith is more with the agents than with the actual players. Right.
Say it
because,
again.
because I think the value of Stephen, like ESPN values Stephen A. Smith not because of his relationships with the players, but it was his relationships with the agents. Now, regardless if he has a falling out with 1 or 2 players or not, those agents, just like you said, Clutch Sports has like what 50.
Yeah, they got
50
NFL,
athletes. Like,
NBA. Yeah.
like you mentioned like 25 in NBA, another 25 in NFL. Like we lost LeBron. Like Stephen A. Smith doesn't have access to LeBron anymore, but he still has access to those agents that need. Those agents need Stephen A. Smith to say good things about their players, so they can their value
Rich
because
Paul
those
needs him
agents need those players' values to go up, so they can continue to get that higher cut.
But if it's agents, it can't be Clutch Sports agency because that's all LeBron. Clutch Sports will cut him off from this whole list.
That's fine.
But
That's
if,
fine.
that's
but they don't because they don't have all the players.
They don't have all of them.
They
But-
can't do
but,
that.
But
That's a bad business
If
model.
Clutch
That's
did,
terrible.
if Clutch did that, and then David Mulugeta did that. Now David got 100.
If they partnered
He got
together and did it,
120.
then that'd be
You see what I'm
different.
saying? So
but right now, these
that's what I'm
agencies are
saying.
more like
But that's where the slippery slope.
like a group of dentists. Like dentists don't have a conglomerate. They can't bundle together and get more money from these insurance companies. No, they're independent out here fighting in the wild together. You know what I'm saying?
That's the toughest thing about it. Anytime you want to see like real movement. Like you want to see everybody connect and be a community and let's all take a stance. Like when they were trying to boycott Target the other day, remember? And I was like, man, ain't nobody. Yeah, you can't. You know why? Because if you got one issue just like this is one issue, Stephen A. Smith, right? One person, one issue. But then you're trying to make sure 1 million people, or in the NFL is 1,600, 1,800, or NBA 450, all do the same thing. 450 got to be locked in with one.
Yeah.
Man, stop. It ain't
that's
gonna
why
ever
we could
happen.
never. That's why we could never have our guaranteed contracts in the NFL because we ain't ever get on the one page.
No.
I've had plenty of. Hey, we should all do this as NFL players, and we had our own bank. I remember we used to always have that discussion with all NFL players. Right? We all put our money in. We could have one of the biggest banks in the world. Yeah, sounds good. It ain't never gonna happen.
No.
It's just everybody's not always gonna be on the same page.
Because I don't believe in power to the people. Like I've heard that, and I don't believe that shit. It's a lie.
Yo, that statement sounds crazy.
It sounds crazy. We gotta challenge this stupid shit.
I know you mean it, but
you sounded white.
The sound bite sounded
White?
crazy.
It sound white? No, think
You
about
sounded
it.
white.
Power
Clip
to the
that,
people.
please.
That's what.
Listen to it.
That's what the black people think that it is.
But
and the
it's
white
Never been
people.
power to the people.
No, it's not. It's so crazy. Listen to this. Power to the people. What people? What people? Go.
Black
Tall
people.
Oh, black people. Okay, let's
Black
go black.
people.
Black people.
African-American
Now, do you
Americans.
know some black people who don't have power? Don't deserve power.
Yeah.
Don't deserve. Like
Yeah.
you like, dog, don't not
Yeah,
him.
not
That's
him.
Not him.
Anybody but him.
Hold on. See, you're making my point.
Yeah, you're right. It just
not,
sounded
There's
funny.
no power to shit. Like it ain't power to all beautiful girls.
Yeah.
It ain't no power to all tall guys.
Yeah.
It ain't no power to no group. Like there's not a group in this world. They even showed this. This is funny, sociology. They were talking about identical twins, how they're so different, but they're identical. So then you're trying to extract that to a group and say all of them deserve this.
No.
And then you look like right now at your school. You remember you're in school. You go there, you're like, all right, all of us gonna be on the team together. And it literally, you take one look, you're like, damn, why he on my team?
Yeah.
I don't want this.
I wish he was over there. Yeah.
I don't want him. I don't want him. Right?
I'll take him.
So
but, yeah.
well, it's really not power to the people. It's power to the person. And you got to just take your time, and I know no one wants to do this, and methodically have to go individual by individual and say, I want you, I want you, I want you. And then that's a group that versus a blind case study of just
Dave Chappelle's
The
draft.
race draft. I was literally just
Oh,
thinking that. I was
That's what that is?
just thinking
Is that what that is?
The race draft.
You never saw that?
I saw it. I never thought about it like power to the person versus power to the people.
That's the race
We're
draft.
picking and
When you
choosing
get rid
who
of
you
some
want.
that you didn't really want,
Yeah.
and you pick the ones that you did.
Well, yeah. Like if we playing football right now, somebody
Like Tito
say,
Jackson, we don't need him. Y'all can take him. We take Mike.
I don't even look at it racially. I look at it with any group. I always have been this way, and it's kind of gotten me in a lot of trouble. I just as soon as somebody starts saying all of us, and I'm like, no, because all of us ain't on the same page. To your point, why we can't get on the same page? Fool, do you know what this page look like? I'm
It's
on
not gonna
that
happen.
letter. You on this paragraph. We ain't the same.
We ain't the same.
Right? And I think if we respect that more, we will get better results.
Nobody's gonna want to. They don't want to be honest with themselves to say that. That's the biggest thing. Nobody wants to say that about themselves. They're never gonna do that.
Truth hurts.
Truth hurts, especially if it's within.
So you don't think any player's gonna say, "Look, I ain't boycotting Stephen A."
They're
You don't
not
think
gonna
any-
say it to his face. They'll say it to you, and they'll say it behind
Yeah.
such, but they're not gonna say it to his face.
Kobe meme. You ever seen that Kobe meme?
No.
You never seen that Kobe meme where he's like,
Soft? Oh, soft.
Yeah.
that's
But
soft.
that's the whole point. That's why it's okay for them to do it. Everybody's gonna do it on the phone. Everybody's gonna do it Twitter beef and all that stuff, and they ain't gonna say it to
Until
his
he
face.
walk up on him and then they doing the interview.
And ain't nobody scared of Stephen A. Obviously. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you're not
Not
scared.
Not physically.
But-
Scared of them
Not
boxing moves, man.
physically,
And
but
again, what we're talking about, what Stephen A. could do for someone's career. A young player.
on a media level, yes.
Right, there's
On
a
the
young
physical
player
level.
out there saying, "Yeah, Stephen A. If he puts me on blast, I'm going to be a superstar in the NBA. I'm going to get more money. I'm going to get my $100 million contract."
And let's respect
so
Stephen A.
so they are scared of him. So they would never go up to his face and say that. But when they're hanging with LeBron, they'd be like, Man, I ain't messing
I
with him.
hate that shit.
But that's the American.
Look,
What they
give
gonna
respect
do.
to Stephen A. There are people who love, and respect Stephen A. fully. Like, dog, I ain't got no problem with Stephen A.
$40 million a year worth.
Exactly.
So more than
You
them
don't get there by
players.
accident.
Right. Let's not act like Stephen A. ain't got his group too. Like, all right, Draymond, you want to rally your troops? Let me rally my troops and let's see how
See
this
you after
looks.
school.
Yeah. It's wild like that.
315.
Here's another thing too, because you think about people like Draymond. After his career is already at the tail end, he's made it clear that when he finishes playing ball, he's trying to get into the media.
Media,
space.
of course.
Well, Stephen A. is that guy in the media space when it comes to sports. So you got to tread lightly,
especially basketball.
Do
you have to?
But
tread lightly?
but
I mean, it's
Draymond
possible.
doesn't because he's got his own.
He's already in.
He's already
And
got.
he's on the
He's got
other side
millions.
that's merging with them.
He's
like
got
the
more
TNT.
than
It
Sports
just depends
Center.
how high on that
I
media
get
list
it.
you trying
If
to
he
go.
if Draymond just come
He
holler
can
at
sit in
me,
his house
Draymond.
and do it.
If you want to do it the right way,
if
he could easily have his own production company to make 20
Right. If you're
Sports Center shows
self-employed,
if you
none
wanted
of this
to.
matters. But what
Yeah.
if his goal, and we're all saying ifs, but what if his goal is, hey, I'm trying to get on ESPN?
I want to be
Why would you? You're
I'm
bigger
just,
than
I'm just giving you a
ESPN.
hypothetical, just like you saying he could do it this way.
Yeah.
I'm saying, well, what if he wanted to do it that
Then
way?
that's not a smart choice.
But even if he wants to go on ESPN, aren't there ops in the industry? I don't know if there are ops on ESPN with Stephen A. But aren't there ops, like Charles Barkley is cool with Stephen A., but at the same time, he ain't cool with Kendrick Perkins, and Kendrick Perkins is
Right, yep.
newer
He a
in the
pup.
game. But he newer in the game. But the point is, Draymond has a bigger cachet coming in than Kendrick Perkins, and he could find a landing spot, even though I'm not on board with you. I think the sports media now, you ain't got to be besties all the time.
No.
Like, it looks that way. It used to be the way you said
They
it.
got bigger cachet than Draymond.
Well, the only thing.
Oh, yeah.
So if let's say,
But he doesn't have a bigger-
I
but he
don't
doesn't
know.
have a bigger
this is more of
audience,
your
though.
world than mine. But let's say if Stephen A. is like, nah, I don't want him in here. Does he have enough
He doesn't
power
got that power.
to
Yeah,
no,
but
Stephen A.
just-
does not have that
I
much
don't
power.
know. I believe he do.
No.
But think about this from a business standpoint. The only thing better than having one person in a big beef is to have both of the beefers.
Pause.
Beefers?
You made a whole new word up. You made a whole new pause
So
word
mix
up.
a lot.
The
Beefers.
beefers.
Beefers. I'll roll it like a Playboy. Beef.
We got two of the beefers.
Beefers.
You know exactly what I mean.
No, we don't. No, we
Still
don't.
funny though.
Nobody claiming that.
All right, you got me. My mouth was open.
Come on, man.
That's a Spike Lee moment.
Sorry.
Oh, my man.
I'd like to apologize for the
Chicago's
Chicago contingency.
I think we need to.
My bad.
I think we need to pause.
I think we need to pause and time out.
TV break.
Yeah. Phil Jackson's seen enough.
We'll be right back.
And you know Phil never called time out. He's like, all right, time out. This is too much.
Y'all figure it out.
Chalk that off. Chalk it off.
This is an interesting conversation that we're going to have about rings. And do different rings mean more?
Yes.
Now, I heard yeses already, and I got to get this off. This is one of the reasons why I never got caught up in my careers based on rings, because I knew that even if you get it, and they always say they can never take it away, but they could discount it. And I'm like, well, what's the point of wrapping my whole mind and career and efforts around something that y'all gonna change up? So different rings mean different things.
didn't get a ring.
No.
I was on some sorry ass teammates.
You know.
Throw them all under the.
No, yeah,
silly.
right. Started with me. Started with
So
me.
What
silly.
do you mean different rings?
So the rings,
Championship
all
ring
right.
is a-
So a championship
College?
ring, are they all the same? Or are they all created equal?
All the
Or
championships?
bubble rings come into play.
Bubble rings
That was an
definitely don't
easy
count.
road to a championship because everybody was heard. Like, do you look at rings differently based on who gets some and what gets them? And one of the examples Just Blaze sent me was Giannis's 1 ring
Yeah.
versus KD's 2 rings. Another example is LeBron got 4,
So does
but
Steph.
somehow, some way, we look at Steph's 4 different than LeBron's 4. So break it on down, Just Blaze.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. We already know that Giannis' 1 ring means more than KD's 2.
I know it does.
Because KD had to run and team up to get his after getting spanked by the Golden State Warriors. He ran to them because he wanted to see what it felt to be like to be a champion.
Do you watch this on SportsCenter? Is it animated or not? Is this cartoon?
No, this is real life.
This is real conversation. You think like this?
Yes.
You really?
This is real
TD,
life.
I teamed up with you.
Yeah, because it happened in real life. I
What?
seen it. I saw it.
What
I
do you
saw
mean?
it.
They always switch teams.
Giannis did it.
Robin-
Giannis stood
Yet.
10 toes down
Yeah, but he-
and
Yet.
went through
And
the
got
grind.
one and got less.
Yes, because he went through the grind.
Oh, that's the
and
grind
fought
phase.
through it. Didn't run for
Yeah,
help.
but
Please
they brought
save
all
me.
these kids.
Save me.
They brought
Steph,
all these
please.
guys in
He
around
went-
him, Blaze.
You said who?
They brought in players.
He
for
was
it.
still the guy.
Yeah, but still.
They brought
Dirk
in help.
Spring.
Nobody's ever gonna fault you
Like-
for bringing in help. But Giannis did. Giannis could have left and
Help is
joined the
help.
Warriors, or could have left and joined
Help is help.
other people.
He gave. I heard that Dirk ring come in there.
That Dirk ring.
That Dirk
everybody
ring.
loves the Dirk ring, or like the Steph 2022 ring. That's probably his best ring because like he was by himself. Like he showed up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It's better than the KD rings, and it's better than the first ring where we saw it. Was Iggy. Got the MVP, yeah. So it's like that's the
And-
ring
and
we all
Steph shoulda got
respect.
that ring, to be
or
honest.
like LeBron's. If we're gonna respect any LeBron's rings, it's gonna
Well,
be the Cleveland joint.
yeah. Cleveland
He
ring.
went back and they didn't have a super team, and he brought us a championship back. So there is levels to
What
the
are y'all
respectability
talking
to these
about?
rings.
Wait,
LeBron has
Y'all-
one
this
respectable
Yeah,
ring.
I'm with you.
This
They're-
sounds
no,
crazy.
They're all professional.
This is disgusting.
This is crazy.
If you have one ring, how do you
This is
compare and
crazy.
beat the other guy
A
that has
ring's
two
a
rings?
ring.
But he also had
A ring
the
is a
MVP,
ring.
There's-
two MVPs with those two rings.
I'm
I know he went to another team, but who didn't go to another team? Garnett went to Boston.
Yeah.
The Lakers did it.
Let me
The Bulls did it. They all do
Lakers
it.
always
so
bought
you
a
put
team.
all rings on the same level?
Professional sports
Absolutely.
rings,
That's what
absolutely.
I'm saying is,
Absolutely.
You can't put one
Hey,
above.
Trip was making
two.
more arguments.
Whose ring do you respect more? Aaron Rodgers or Garoppolo's?
Garoppolo.
What?
Wasn't he on New England? With New England?
What ring is?
What are you
what
talking
Garoppolo
about?
ring?
On New England.
But
He didn't even play. That's my point.
Yeah, but
That's my point.
but when-
He didn't even play.
But that's
when
not
has
you
Rodgers
respect-
been back with the ring.
Huh?
When
That's
has Rodgers
messed
been-
up.
That's my
Or to
point.
keep it level to level.
It's
like,
not called
No, but that's my point.
Garoppolo's
Their
ring.
rings aren't leveled. So if
That's my point. You know that. But
No, we all
if we're,
saying it.
if we're going to say comparing like KD, compare KD to Giannis, I get
Yeah,
it. You
yeah.
can't say the
A
backup
backup to another.
no,
Yeah.
because he's making it seem like all rings are the same.
All rings are the
The
same.
point he made was saying like all rings are the same.
Well,
I'm
he
saying
was
they're
saying
not.
two versus
Two,
one.
two versus
He said
one.
two versus
Talking
one.
about stars.
You're
Talking
trying to
about
say
stars.
We're not
two
talking about
stars
all
versus
the
two.
contributors. We're not talking about their contribution
talking
to the
about
ring.
the practice
We're
players.
talking about the team
Could we
winning
call
a ring.
KD a contributor?
No, I'm saying you're
The
talking about
MVP?
Garoppolo.
Yeah, of both.
You brought up somebody people
Yeah.
didn't even know
I
was
look
on
at
the
KD
team.
as a contributor. They was already a championship team. They went 73-9
They
the year
didn't win
before he
the-
got
they didn't
there.
win the-
So
But they
LeBron,
won the year before that.
so LeBron is a contributor for
I
the,
think
with the
they all
Heat,
are.
right?
Too much now.
They all are.
I know you don't like it. I know y'all don't like the context of it.
No.
but it is.
I'm asking. I don't
Logic
know.
doesn't like
He
it.
went there to win.
We
Because
got
he
no
couldn't-
problems with it.
because
Logic
LeBron
does.
couldn't do it on
I'm
his
with
own.
you.
He went
I
to
agree.
Miami
I'm
to
just
win.
asking.
What do you mean on his own?
He couldn't do it on his own.
Hold on. Even if you had won in Cleveland, it wasn't on his own. There's no such place
Nah,
as
That's why they're all the
semantics.
same.
That's
Huh?
semantics.
That's why they're all the
Sway?
same.
Because he didn't win on his own.
They're all the
Right.
same. That's why they're all the same.
He went to Miami.
Who has ever won one ring on their own? Go.
But see, that's semantics. That's the semantics.
No,
Because when we're talking about on
a
own,
golfer, a track
You
person,
have not- you
Serena
can't answer
Williams,
we're talking
Venus
semantics.
Williams.
He went to join Miami because they were already a winning
Isn't
franchise.
the conversation semantics? Though?
Every-
That's the
like-
whole point.
Yeah, it is.
Like, hold on. They won in 06. He went there in what, 09, 2010?
Yeah, just a couple years later.
But those years matter.
went when his
Just like how
contract
Steph
ended.
won and didn't win.
He'd have went early if his contract didn't end.
But you can't. You notice I noticed you can't answer
Semantics.
this simple question. Who ever won a ring on their own?
On your own, when I say on your own, I'm talking about you being the focal point and the guy who's carrying everything. When he was on his
Dirk
own,
didn't win one on his own.
yes, he did.
No, he
No,
did
he
not.
didn't.
Yes, he did.
Had
You-
11 other
You
players
trying
on
to
his
say
team.
Jason Terry didn't
I
do
just
something?
said on your
Jason
own,
Kidd
as in
did-
you're the focal point. Not, of course, there's
Every
11 other
team
players
is
on
gonna
the
have
team.
a best player. I don't care if you're a sorry team. You got a best player, a focal
We're
point.
gonna sit here and act like we don't know what on your own means.
But now you're saying we're
That's what
acting,
he's
and then
saying.
you're
That's what I'm
saying
trying to say.
We're playing the
semantics.
game now.
This is not a game. Brief. No semantics. No acting. Name a player or a team where they won on their own. Jordan didn't do it.
No, he couldn't.
Kobe didn't do it.
No.
Nobody has done
Giannis
that.
did it.
No, he did not.
What?
Giannis
He still
had-
had
Giannis
other
ca-
players.
He had
Please don't start naming a bunch of role players.
Oh, you
We
mean
talking
all-stars?
about- When I
All-stars.
when I say on your own, we're
They're
talking
all
about
role
the
players.
star
Did he have any Hall of
player is
Famers?
the guy, and he carried
Yeah,
y'all
Drew-
to
he
the
had
champ.
Drew Holiday.
Hall of Famers.
He had Drew Holiday, who was a Hall of Famer.
And number 22.
Sure.
Number 22.
Giannis did not have
Number 20
Middleton, who's an all-star.
And
Shout out
Drew
to Charles.
Holiday.
And Drew
Charles from
Holiday.
South Carolina.
And the 7-footer.
We not gonna
And Brook
Lopez.
Lopez.
stop.
He had
So
NBA
if
All-Stars.
Giannis wasn't on that team, would they have won without him?
No.
Right,
They wouldn't have been the
but
same team.
Giannis could have
That's
won
not
with
the same
other players.
argument.
He could have won with other players.
Well-
It's for a fact
Well,
we know they
okay,
wouldn't have
but
won without
those-
Giannis.
Those four
that
could've-
makes you
those
the guy.
four could have won with somebody else too.
No. Who?
Yeah.
Kobe?
LeBron
What
and
if
Yeah,
Kobe.
they would have needed the guy.
That's
They
the
needed
whole point.
another
I think-
guy to
and
carry
Giannis
it.
was
You're
the
arguing
guy.
versus
Here's
yourself.
Here's why KD couldn't win.
You're arguing
without-
versus yourself.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
No,
kind of
I'm not.
You are.
No.
Wait,
You kinda
no,
are.
and in
Because
fact,
what y'all did is y'all changed the narrative to
Blaze, in your own words, you would be like, which proves my point.
right. Because
Two things can be true. Two things can be true.
Because what y'all did is y'all
Oh, we
changed the
cooking your
narrative.
ass right now.
Y'all changing the narrative to
You just proved
no. Because y'all trying to be slick.
You
Y'all
just-
trying to be slick.
You just
Y'all
proved
trying to
what I've
change
been
my
saying.
words. I said you got to be the guy. You got to be the guy to win.
Welcome to
Y'all
Nair
trying to
TV.
say, oh, all these other random players. We're not talking about these random players. You know exactly what I meant.
Drew Holiday's
You got
not
to
a random player.
Drew Holiday
He
is
just
not
went to
going to
Boston.
get you a championship.
He just went to
Nobody-
Boston
Nobody
and won
thinks.
another one.
Nobody thinks in their mind, oh, if I get Drew Holiday, we gonna win the
Yes, they
championship this year.
do. The
If-
Boston Celtics thought that.
Okay.
And guess
They
what?
do.
No,
they got a championship.
No, because they had Tatum and Brown.
But
if they didn't have Tatum and
you
Brown,
also, as a,
Did they win with Tatum and Brown and no Drew Holiday?
no, they didn't.
Okay.
But that's my
Did
point.
Giannis win without Drew Holiday?
But that's
No.
what. This is
Maybe
my
it's
point. Y'all are proving it. You think y'all got a point, but you're proving it. If they didn't have Tatum and Brown,
proving
do
my
you think?
point.
No, watch this. If they didn't have Tatum and Brown, if they did not have Tatum and Brown,
heard you the
and they
first.
I want to make sure everybody here. if they didn't have them two, and they brought in Jaden,
on that one.
if they brought in Drew Holiday, do you think they thought they was winning? They only felt like Drew Holiday would help them because they had Tatum and Brown. They needed the guys
that's what-
first.
that's
Big dog,
they all
isolating
do.
variables. Now, look,
That's
let's
what
go back to
we're saying.
Hofstra. Hofstra, let's do this equation.
Don't throw no shots.
No.
Don't throw no shots at him.
Just saying Hofstra's a shot, right? Like, I mean, trust me, I'm not shooting. Here we go.
After you shoot.
Isolate variables. Giannis, by himself, as you would say, on his own, with a team without Drew Holiday, did he win? No. Okay, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, isolated variables, on a team without Drew Holiday, did they win? No. Okay, so now there's a dependent variable coming into it, which is going to become interdependent, which means that variable independently didn't win by themselves either. But that's the beauty of it. Like Giannis, just like Magic, had Kareem. Just like Kobe had Shaq, Gasol. They all have Phil Jackson. Like, all these things are together. And I just laugh how you try to take it apart and say that they can win without each other, because they didn't win when the other one wasn't there.
And we got one piece that is connecting two
Two
championships.
chips.
If I was the
How
Two
are you
glue.
not?
If I was the general
stop,
public,
stop.
that would have swayed me.
Blaze,
And I'm
come
smarter
on,
than
man.
that. I'm smarter than that.
Right,
That didn't work, but it was.
It
I
had
like what
to
you
work.
did there.
It had to work.
No, because that's like KD had. Everybody had KD. He had Russ. He had Harden. He had a team full of guys he couldn't win. He had to go join the guys that could win, and then he won.
That's not
my
what-
point.
that's
Is
not-
you got to
that's
get
not what
with
we're
the
talking
guy
about. That's
to
not
win.
what we're talking about.
If he didn't join with Steph, would he have
That's,
won a ring
that's
by
not
now?
what we're talking about. You
That's
just
what we talking
you
about.
just
That's
went-
an if.
That's why rings make.
But why are you going if
Rings-
when? Why are your questions
rings
to
make a
us with an
difference.
if, and ours to you is a definite? We gave you real examples. You only got imagination. You don't. You only got imagination. You have not given us one example.
I gave you a clear example.
Who won on their own? Go.
On their own is Giannis. Giannis was the guy. Giannis was the guy.
Giannis
KD had to join other Hall of Famers to win. Other guys who had Drew Holiday.
I agree with.
I just want to say this real quick. Y'all keep talking about Drew Holiday. I just want to say this real quick because y'all keep saying, "Oh, Drew Holiday." They didn't win until they had Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday didn't win until he was with them.
Yes.
So that works both ways.
Yeah,
But I
KD,
agree with you. But what you're saying is for everybody in every professional sports, right? Jordan, as much as I'm a Jordan fan, I know Jordan would have won anywhere at any time with anybody, but he still needed Paxson. He needed. Scotty.
He didn't.
Listen,
He didn't need Paxson.
Listen
He
to
needed
me.
Scotty.
He needed.
Oh,
Paxson.
so that's not on his own.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
elite.
saying.
Yes.
No, listen
I
to
didn't
me.
say
Listen
Jordan
to me.
went on
Listen
his
to me. You're gonna say the star, right? Pippen and Rodman. That's what he needed. He needed everybody else.
There's a
that's
difference
just.
between everybody else and elite players. That's
We're not,
my
but we're
point.
not talking about just elite. That's
But
the
that's
whole
what
point.
I was talking about.
Okay.
You need elite.
Yeah, Drew Holiday.
KD had to join elite players to win. Giannis didn't have to do that.
Yes,
Giannis
he
was
did.
the elite. No, he wasn't.
Chris Middleton
Giannis was
an
the elite.
all-star.
Chris Middleton is not elite.
He was an all-star. He was an
He's
all-star.
not even top 20.
He was an all-star. He was an
He's
all-star.
not even top 20.
But
It's
he's
top
a-
24, top
But if
30.
he's an all-star, you got to put him in the elite
Chris
category.
Middleton was not a top 20 player in the league.
Well, how do you?
Yes, he was. He was an
Y'all
all-star.
falling for his trap. Who the hell said
Yeah, y'all
20 is the
falling for his
number?
trap.
Who said the 20 is the number? If you're an
just
all-star,
throwing-
that's a
you're
different
saying
category.
top 20.
If you're an all-star, you're in elite, bro.
Yeah, there's 450, and
Brooke
we're taking
Lopez
30.
was an all-star. Drew
and you're
Holiday
saying
was
you're
an
not
all-star.
And
Those
Middleton
are all
was an
elite.
all-star.
That's what I'm saying.
They were-
Those are
Chris
elite.
Middleton leading you to a championship?
No.
He's part of
Thank
the
you.
championship.
Thank you.
He's helping you lead.
Thank you.
But is Giannis without him leading us to a championship?
No, he's
We don't
not.
know because we haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the other one neither, nigga.
We haven't seen the other one
That's
either.
what I asked the question. I didn't say that was a fact. I asked the question.
But Blaze,
Shoulders.
question.
We lost
I
him.
see these.
Shoulders
it was
high.
a question.
I see
I
these.
asked the question.
I see these truths to be all self-evident.
Y'all asked me a question. I asked you a question.
Is created equal.
So wait, we all gonna sit here and play dumb like we don't know that Giannis is the person that led them to the championship.
We didn't. No one
gonna act
disagreed
like
with
that?
that.
Nobody's
No one's
disagreeing
ever
with that,
disagreed
bro.
with
So
that.
that's my point.
No,
that's
that's
not
not
your
your
point.
point.
Without Giannis, they don't go to the championship.
Duh.
You can take Chris Middleton
And
out
we're
and
saying
put
this-
20 other players in that spot.
No, you
and they still
cannot.
get
Blaze,
there.
who did they beat? Phoenix.
Well, we ain't gonna discredit.
That's
championship
semantics.
now.
That's semantics.
Okay, but who did they have?
That's semantics.
Devin Booker,
And
NBA Finals
what's
MVP
other- Chris
they
Paul,
won.
Chris
40
Paul,
year old?
2 Hall of Famers.
But he was old. He was out of his prime, man.
He wasn't us, right? He's still a Hall of Famer.
what are y'all even talking about?
I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is
We ain't gonna discredit
you can't
championships.
put
What are y'all
Giannis.
talking about?
That's the whole
To
conversation.
center it though, I mean, I'm not. You know me. I try to be king objective. I may not be.
No, you don't.
I just know that you really just went all over the place with that argument.
No,
I'm just saying. No,
because y'all changed the narrative of what I was saying.
He blacked out.
you really no. I'm your friend,
dog.
dog.
He did well. He did Will Ferrell.
There is
in
not. We really
In
asked you.
No,
We asked you
because we had
where's
2
the
different
play?
conversations. I
No.
just want to say that.
Oh, here we go. 2 different
We
conversations.
started off
Yeah,
talking
but
about
they're
the value
both
of
with
rings,
yourself, though.
and then the conversation
They're
shifted
both with
to the
yourself.
players that are with you. So it was 2 different conversations
with
we had.
yourself.
But has a player ever won it on his own? And the answer
No.
yes
Yes.
No.
Yes. Because how we're looking at the definition of on your own is where we
or no. No
disagree
one
at.
elite with you. You're saying.
I'm saying is an elite player. Y'all are just saying,
You don't even know
it's a
elite,
1 on
though.
12.
You
Clearly,
don't-
I'm not saying
your
1 on
definition
12.
of elite is not fair because you're calling people who are all-stars not elite. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is wild.
That's
Let me tell you
ridiculous.
There's people who made all-stars that are not elite.
Yes, they are, bro.
There are
To the
players
normal
who
human
have made
being,
all-stars
to the
that are
normal
not
human
elite
being, you
players.
guys looking at him, oh, he's
you
regular.
gotta-
No,
you
nigga,
gotta
this is
respect
top
him, his
24 in
name.
the world. In the
What was,
world,
whose
Craig.
name that played with LeBron in Cleveland that year?
Yeah, they
Tyrone
only
Lue?
take 12,
No,
right?
he's the coach of
or 15.
He's a
Ty
coach.
Lue.
He's a coach at Jackson State for the men's basketball team. Oh man,
I don't know.
yeah. I can't think of his name.
No one's saving you.
Cleveland. He's the
This
coach
is my
right now at
conscience
Jackson
right
State men's
now.
basketball team. I can't.
You got a phone.
He's a guard. He put up 50 one night.
Okay.
Damn.
So,
But what's your point? What's your
Do you
point?
know
Brandon
how-
Jennings put up 51 night. He's not an elite
how many did
player.
you ever put up in the NBA, nigga?
I didn't
See,
put him in.
exactly.
That
These
doesn't
niggas are
discredit-
elite. Don't sit there and act like these
That's
dudes
like
are
me
not
saying,
elite.
talking about elite receivers and saying how many stats, you're talking about your stats.
Nigga, I'm elite, nigga. What are you talking
To
about? To me, that's all that matters.
Exactly. So that's my point.
Exactly.
So
So
you
you
can't-
can't have. I'm never gonna have somebody who's
you
not
can't
in
change
the league
my
to talk
narrative.
about
You
people.
can't change my opinion because I didn't play in the
can't
league.
change it because you're not. You're talking about people who are in the league, but you're not in the league, so you have no
But
opinion.
there's a definition to elite.
Yes, if you're in the league,
Whether you in the league or not.
if you're in the league, right? If you're in the
you
league,
don't tap dance.
you won't let me answer. You won't let me
Power
answer.
to the people.
You won't let me answer. I can't. I haven't spoke yet.
You can, but
I
you
haven't
can't.
spoke
I
yet.
hate
This
when
is how
players
Rich
do
ended
that.
up saying
Don't
dummy that
act
one
like because
time,
you
man.
didn't play in the league, you can't have a valid opinion.
And this is why we have this show.
right. Because you tried to put a player card, and that doesn't work here.
It doesn't when you're not a player.
Right. It doesn't when you wasn't.
Right. What you
I
talking
didn't
about?
think you had a comeback for that.
What you talking about?
You know what? You know. But listen. Here's the clear example. You know when you
shit.
also.
Let's go.
Listen.
That was a good
You
comeback.
also can't talk about being an elite player if you wasn't one yourself.
Nigga, I was.
So that works both ways.
No.
That works both ways.
It can't work.
Some water.
So you can talk. You can say I don't. My opinion's not valid because I didn't play. But I could also say you can't talk about elite because you wasn't elite. Which goes back to my point of your opinion is your opinion. It doesn't matter. All of that extra stuff is fluff. My opinion is based on certain facts. Your opinion is based on the facts that you feel. I'm not discrediting yours, so you can't discredit mine.
Damn, Patch. Oh, my God. Becky.
Shit.
I gotta admit, he's right on this one. Not because you weren't elite.
No,
it's
I'm
because
not.
you can't discredit his opinion.
I'm not-
but
I'm not-
his opinion
Everybody in the
is
NFL
not,
is elite.
Yeah,
Everybody.
elite
Everybody
to
in
the world.
professional
There's levels
sports.
to
But then there's levels once you're in the NFL, and don't discredit him because he's on the other side of not making it there. But once you're in there, elite has to be quantified or objectified, and it gotta be at least all-star is something. You don't want to call it elite. You want to say top 5 is elite. I don't know what you call it. Our problem is we don't respect elite the same. Right. To me,
Facts.
in a league with 1,800 NFL players, if you make the Pro Bowl, which is
You're
the
elite.
top 100,
Yeah.
you are elite.
Yeah.
And to me, the same way, that's why they do an NFL top 100 list, because they're like, these motherfuckers are elite. Same way the NBA All-Star, dog. Dog, there's 450 dudes playing. We ain't even talking about G League.
Every All-Star's elite.
Dog, them dudes, I mean, so in that respect, if you are leading the team to a championship and you look to your side and your teammate is all-star, elite, then you didn't do it on your own is what we're saying.
And then when you got
that was a
3 of them-
respectful, nice way.
No, and I understand that, but part of what I was saying is we've seen that with multiple superstars. A lot of times the guy that's on your right hand gets into the All-Star because of who you are. Like, we've seen that.
I can see that.
With the guy, you're so good and you're carrying this team so high that the guy right there becomes an all-star.
We talked about that with the number 1 receiver versus number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
We know you can
Yeah.
draft
Right.
off of someone.
So that's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean everybody on this team didn't draft off your ass. I did. And I got the accomplishment. I got the accolade. So
Playing elite.
you're
Playing elite ball.
you're playing elite ball right
You
now.
talking about Mo Williams?
Or your team is, Mo Williams.
Mo Williams.
Mo Williams was an all-star that year when they was balling out.
And like it's levels. Okay, so you're not elite in basketball because you didn't make the NBA.
Right.
You're not elite in NFL because you didn't make the Pro Bowl. But then I'm not elite in the NFL because I didn't make Hall of Fame.
Right.
And then there's like, okay, you didn't win the championship. But the point is, these are all elite categories to be in.
But that's what
No,
I was
no.
saying was
No.
elite. That's what I said when I said we were having 2 different conversations. Where we disagreed was our definition of what elite is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you guys are wrong, but
No,
we
no,
look
no.
at
No, we're saying
looking
you're
at
wrong.
elite
You're
differently.
wrong.
No, we're looking at elite differently.
Hey, I hate when somebody put their hands down. I'm like, you remember them shit up?
We're looking at
Put
elite
your
differently.
fist-
We look at elite differently.
Remember when Floyd, that boy went to hug him? He's like, be hugging me.
I say on your own. Y'all are saying that's not on your own. It's like, no, it is on your own when you're the guy that carries that team. It's on your own. Now, if you go and join another superstar player, that's not on your own. KD didn't just join
But you
another
can't-
all-star.
I would say
He
this.
joined superstars.
And they
I
joined
believe-
him.
I
Who
believe
was
that Allen Iverson would have loved and appreciated having another all-star on that team to
That
give him a
part.
he
championship.
could have
That
if he
That
Eric
part.
Snow wasn't.
if he won. Dikembe was.
Dikembe.
Dikembe was.
Was he there the whole
He was
time?
a what? An all-star.
He's an all-star.
Was he there the whole
And
time?
we all
What
look
about
at Allen Iverson as
He wasn't. Dikembe
we
wasn't
all
there
look
for
at
all
Allen
this, yeah.
Iverson as carrying that team on his own.
Yes, and he had
And
help.
he had another All-Star. So you prove my point.
You're saying the
Dikembe
same
wasn't
proving
thing.
my
there
point.
That's what
every
you're saying
championship,
about.
was it?
So you're proving my point. He had an All-Star, and when nobody
No,
recognizes
you're
Dikembe on there.
you're
We
proving
all
your
look
point.
at
Their
Allen
fault.
Iverson
I get it.
as carrying the team on his own.
I get that's what you just said about
That's
the Bucks.
what I'm saying.
About the Bucks.
Dikembe
That's what I'm
wasn't
So why
saying.
there.
y'all bringing
all
up the
of
other
them.
All-Star? We know AI was the guy. He carried them.
yeah.
Without him, that team goes
Can I
nowhere.
ask one question? And I'm not being argumentative. Because
means
I'm big
yes.
with numbers. Like, I love numbers because it takes all the arguing away. Like, it's 2.7.
Sometimes.
It should, but people don't respect, you're right, people don't even respect numbers. When you say carry, quantify that. Like 50% of this team is me? Because I've never been on a team in
one
any
person
sport
carried.
where somebody got
doesn't
100
happen.
of it. Or 90.
AI
Or 80.
AI
or
is
70.
AI is 70% of that.
No. Get out.
Was he getting the rebounds too?
No.
See, that's semantics again.
That's semantics.
That's semantics
Semantics is a
again.
rebound?
That's semantics.
I don't want my son learning to
Here's why.
It's a number.
Here's why.
Semantics is
If
a
you
It's a
take
number.
that same team
What?
and take AI
Who gets
off of it,
possessions?
do they make it to the finals?
You didn't answer my question.
Point.
Right.
See how you act?
So what does that mean? He's carrying the bulk of that team.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. What percentage did AI carry?
I said 70.
70?
70%.
How do you even get a possession?
See, I think the problem here too is we talking to football players, right?
No,
and
you
football is
talk-
very
no.
different.
We're talking
No.
NARPS.
No, because football is very team oriented.
So is basketball.
No, it's not. Basketball is very dependent on the guy. If
No,
you
it's
got
not,
one
bro.
elite,
Really?
I
Why
tell
didn't
you-
Jordan win by himself when he was already the guy?
but Jordan got far. He got,
That was sometimes he didn't make the playoffs.
Playoffs?
but he got.
When
he
they
also-
already knew
But
he was
there's
that
also
dude.
years where he did make it to the playoffs.
Oh, he didn't make it to the.
The player who has the most pressure on them, and that's what's making them the elite player or the guy or by themselves. Because nobody's
or.
interviewing Jason Kidd
This is a whole
when they got Dirk Nowitzki on their team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody's interviewing.
This is
Drew
We
what
all
Holiday.
know that was Dirk's team.
Wait, hey.
when it goes downhill, they blame it on
Right.
Dirk. When they win, it goes on
Blaze,
Dirk.
But that
He's
ain't
the
how it
guy
all
that's carrying
played
the
out.
team.
Because look,
This is
if
never how it
part of being a star on the team is knowing when to defer. Because like I just got triple team, I just got double team, whatever it may be. Like, oh, I'm gonna use the power, the gravity around me. That's what Jordan did to Paxson. That's what he did to Kerr. He was like, oh shit, Lord, that's for you. That's what LeBron does all the time. And so it can't be 70% as much as I'm a coach. I play. I have not seen a team, not
Ever.
even
No,
Jordan
that's just, I'm
and
just speaking
Pippen.
on AI. I'm not
Ever.
saying everybody's 70%.
Yeah, but
We were specifically talking about AI.
Okay.
There was a stat that came up yesterday about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Give it to him.
And I think he accounted for 43% of maybe
Let's talk about
points or something like
usage
that.
Usage rate? What we doing here?
And
Let's
it
talk
was,
about
and there
winners.
had only been 2 instances of somebody accounting for it that much before, and both were Jordan. So nobody is accounting for 70% of
Thank you.
anything
Well, that's
on
not true,
in
'cause we're
any
talking about
team.
winners.
And
He
even
didn't
if it
win
was
Oh,
winners.
no, why we talking about
That-
AI then? Let's talk about
that's
winners.
any-
I didn't bring up AI.
Yes, you did, nigga.
You did.
Yes, you
Y'all brought up
did.
AI.
You brought it
You
up.
it was your point, though.
Yeah, but that was your
I did.
And that's to put the back.
That's who you.
If
That's
we right
who
or you
you
wrong.
got him back going.
You right? Right. They try to come with
No, but you
I'm
said
built for
he
this, though.
said you said he accounted for
New York.
You
from
said
New York.
70%.
Your argument was the
City.
70%
You said
argument,
70%
which just sounded
was AI.
ridiculous.
Ask me how much percentage do I think
But
AI
it sounds ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous because
It's
without
ridiculous
AI,
because
do they
even
go
if
there?
even if the team scored 100 points a game, that means AI scores 70, and we know
No,
that.
that's where you're wrong. Because
contributions.
right overall, that's you're talking
Scoring
about
and assists. That's what, is that what you're going for?
Scoring,
Okay.
And
assists,
assists,
Yeah,
all
but
that. But it
everything.
wasn't even close
It
to
wasn't
70.
even
You know
That's
what?
the whole point.
Here's
Not
another
close to
thing that
70.
you're not factoring in because you're talking about stats. You're talking about just scoring and let's say assists. All right. Well, if I'm the prime focus of the offense, well, if y'all double teaming me, automatically that's leaving somebody else open. That's not a stat, but what that does show is that I am. The
Contributed?
right, I'm contributing to other people getting points without me even touching the ball. So 70% is a very valid number because if AI is not there, where they going? They probably wouldn't even have been a playoff team without AI being there. So everybody's numbers look better because AI is there. So you might want to reevaluate the 70% because I think it's a fair number.
I do not.
No.
I think I
Since you
think
have
it's
influence
absolutely
doesn't
ridiculous.
mean it has impact. Difference. Influence is like, oh, I'm here. Everyone's focused on me. Impact is I gave you the ball and you actually did something with it, right? So you can't take away from him because there are teammates he passed it to who didn't make the All-Stars, who didn't ball out. So when you do it, you can't say, oh, it's all because of you.
It's all because of me.
If it were, you can make everybody a damn magician.
That's a 70%.
His teammates
Was
threw
7
that
out of
second
10.
pass.
Did he have
There's
7 out of
stats
10?
that can actually back up what I'm saying.
I know.
That would be a
But
deeper
you don't know 'em.
That'd be a deeper conversation. I do.
You don't know
I
'em.
do.
Oh,
Because
okay.
It ain't
I can
70%.
just give you a quick breakdown. If
Show
AI is
us.
averaging, let's say the
He just gave you the break. I know.
Let's-
I
They
know what
averaged
you're
30
talking about.
points a game.
Let's just
He
say-
averaged 30 points a game, and they
Scored 100.
They scored 100.
They didn't
But he-
average 100. They did not average 100. So
98. They didn't average 80, nigga. What you
They
talking
averaged
about?
Cheryl Miller.
90.
That's
Okay,
like
90's
like
100,
70%.
nigga.
keep going.
Come on, Hofstra.
You gonna prove my point. Keep
Come
going.
on, come on, Hofstra.
Keep going.
Hold on.
90%.
You
That's-
average 30 yourself.
Keep going.
And the team averages 90.
And then average. Put his assist.
That's 60%.
Put his
That's
assist in
30.
there.
That's
60,
30%.
a third. You are 33%.
Okay, and if he's averaging, let's say 6 assists a game, that's another 12.
No, we got. No,
You're not counting that.
We got like 50
That's
assists.
part. Again, this is what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
so when he
How
got
many
a
rebounds
so,
in the
so when he
game?
got when, okay,
Again.
so when AI got a rebound,
I'm
pass
trying
it
to take
him,
you to
pass
school.
it to him, they got to dunk down.
I'm
So that's
taking-
because of AI,
I'm
right?
giving you
when
a
he got
lesson.
steal, he passed it to him,
giving-
pass it to him, and he shot
I'm
it. Okay,
giving
that
you a
count.
lesson on
I get what
basketball.
you're
Let me
getting,
know
but
when you want to listen.
You don't know basketball, nigga.
I'm
What are
giving
you
you a
talking
lesson.
about?
I'm giving you a
Just
lesson.
'cause-
Are
just
you
'cause-
ready to open your ears and listen?
No, not to you.
See?
No.
Yeah.
No.
This why
can't.
this
We
why
don't
you're not
believe
learning.
you.
We don't
You
believe
need
you,
more
bro.
people.
So if AI is averaging 30 a game, if AI is averaging 30 a game, he's averaging 6 assists. Right there alone, that's 42
No,
to
it's
46
not.
points.
That's
'Cause
not
could be
how
a-
it works.
The assist can be a 2 or 3. Yes, that is exactly
Somebody
how
have
it
to
works.
score
No.
the assist. You can't
Right.
Can you get credit? Can you get some credit?
Yes,
Can you get some
yes,
credit?
that's what an assist is.
Okay.
You're getting credit for somebody else's points.
Can somebody
That's
get-
literally what an
Yeah.
assist is.
Yeah, but the other player
Can
gets
the,
a credit
can
for
the
the
other person
points.
get his points?
Right,
Can he get
but
points?
he doesn't
though?
Can he
get
get
those
his point
points without
credit?
the assist.
I know, but can he have it? Can he have his
He
points?
doesn't get those points
lost
without the
him.
assist.
Can he have his
Do you
points?
know what
That's
assist
I'm
means?
asking a
That's
question.
literally
You
what
don't-
assist means.
Just because you loud don't mean you're right. I'm
No,
asking a
just 'cause I'm
question.
right means I'm right.
asking a question. You
And
ain't
I'm
answering
giving you the
question.
answer.
You haven't
That is
answered it.
literally the definition
Can
of an
you
assist.
say
I'm
in
not
one
asking
lane?
that question, nigga.
I am. Y'all keep changing it.
I'm not mad.
Hold on.
Y'all the one that keep
All right,
changing
we're
it.
going to move off of this because I think we're now in our tornado.
If I'm
But
contributing
listen,
to 50 points,
just-
if I'm contributing to, I just one question. I'm sorry. One question.
It's not a
And then
question,
go.
it's a
And then
statement.
go.
Okay, go
if
ahead.
I'm contributing to, let's say, 50 points of the team and we average 90, whether it's through my points or through assists, and then you add in steals and everything, steals that translate into buckets. These are all stats. If you average all of that, it's more than 60% of the team's offense.
You ready?
These are stats.
Well, offense is just one part of it, and we got to do defense and the metrics. But let's be respectful. Before we build out this long, complex equation, let's keep a simple arithmetic. Points. How many points do you say they average a game, the team? 90. You have 30. That's 1/3, 33%. Okay, how many assists do we have in the game? You can say, oh, well, he averaged 9. And then we have 25. Uh-oh.
That's
You
18
still ain't at
points.
70%.
That's 18
There's
points.
not one metric that you can show that he is 70% of. And he's trying to still make up for the points won, for the points and assists, etc. There's nowhere where he's at 70%, let alone above 70%. He didn't get 70% of the rebounds. He didn't get 70% of the assists. He didn't get 70% of the points. What did he get 70%
There are
of?
stats that literally can back that up.
Anybody help me?
There are literally stats that can back that up.
Help yourself.
There are stats that can literally back that up.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get off it. Hey, get off the grill. Hey, get off the grill. Hey, somebody pick up Justin. You got to go, dog? Oh, we love you too.
You see what happened? See
Yeah,
what I
you
did
read
to
them
her?
off.
See what I did to her?
You read them off. Oh, we wanted you on this one too. It's all love, big dog. Okay. Oh, that was hot. That was hot. Put my clicker up too.
Should we shift?
Okay. Oh yeah, let's get comfortable. Let's get cool. Look at, damn, he gave you arthritis.
His knees, man.
He'll argue you. He argues
Same
you.
mic or he used his mic?
Quit slamming my damn doors. What movie was that from?
Tell him, don't steal your
You were in there
remote.
Friday. He was like this. Pow. Oh man, let's talk this. Oh, y'all good? Y'all good? You good?
It's just basketball.
It's
man.
lightweight.
It ain't that
It's not.
serious.
Give me some of that shot.
We do this all day.
And all night.
all night.
Oh my God. Oh
I'm a New
man,
Yorker.
let's
That's how I
talk
talk to
it.
I
everybody.
need a cigarette.
This-
I mean, God
in New
damn.
York, in New York, that's a regular conversation.
I'm about to say.
That's how we talk.
Yo, son. B.
We talk like that.
Oh,
every
let's
day.
talk about sports media, man. Ooh, that was nasty. Sorry, that came deep. Sometimes you can't stop.
Pause.
Oh, snap. Oh, my.
That came deep.
This is coming off of Jamil Hill. Shout out to the homie who was talking about athletes and how, okay, athletes, y'all wanted y'all turn in media and y'all wanted your own platforms. Y'all got it. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all sound just like these damn journalists. Hot takes, BS, calling each other out, infighting, beefing. She had an interesting point. So just in general, her point and the question is, who's better at sports media? Is it sports journalists or the former athletes? Coming off of what we just went through, I think I know where you're going. Where you at, Just?
I think it's two different sides of that
God
coin.
dang, can you answer one?
I do.
This mother sucker.
Because I do.
I just asked, pick one first and then take me all these sides.
I'm gonna say the sports journalist.
Oh, ooh, shit. This is so
Yeah,
fun.
because I feel like it's a little more. I feel like it's a little more unbiased, and there's bias everywhere. But I feel like it's a little more unbiased. A lot of time, players are very. They look at it only from a player perspective. They don't look at it from the other side. And I feel like journalists are looking at it from both sides of the spectrum.
They look at it from a player's perspective, you think?
I think they try
They
to.
try? Okay.
They try to, but they also look at it from the fan perspective, and they give you their opinion based on both. And players seem to, for some reason, not ever see the fan perspective. It's only like, I lived it, I did it, this is how I see it, and that's it. But the reason why I said it goes both ways. Pause. Is that
He paused himself.
yeah, because it could get crazy. Is that it just depends how you look at it. Because sometimes I'll watch like Gil's Arena because I want to hear things from a player's perspective. And then sometimes I watch First Take or whoever because I just want to see an unbiased opinion that has information from both sides.
Who's on First Take unbiased?
I'm
asking for real.
I say like a Shannon. I mean, obviously he has his bias on certain things, but a lot of times his opinion is based off numbers and experience and just different factors.
So I would think he was an extension of Gil's Arena, because he's a former player as well. But he's just, you got to be more polished.
I think
on
he's
TV,
a little more
I guess.
detailed than
You got to change your
anything
word
else.
code. You got to code
He's
switch.
just not on Club Shay Shay, that's all.
Yeah, exactly.
He's on a board platform where you got to be more polished.
Yeah,
Club Shay Shay, he's very him.
Yeah,
But when he's on First Take, you can see he's more on the journalist side.
I think the down the middle strike throwing journalist is like a dying breed now. Like the Dan Patricks, the Dan Lebertards, the
Skip Bayless.
No, Skip was biased. Like
Skip,
he was biased. But
Yeah.
but those guys who just gave you deal with facts and gave you a solid story, that's done. Everybody's trying to get takes now, and I understand the athletes want to take their own narrative because like they're seeing a bunch of geeks take over their sports as far as people who are analytics and all that stuff, and like they're having opinions on a craft that they spent their lifetime perfecting, and then you come in here with these little numbers and shit and diminishing my game, and that's why they're firing back at all this stuff. And you got the nerve to have an opinion too. So I think that's what's going on with the athletes and the pushback. But and like I said, like the Stephen A's and the Skips, they all doing these hot takes and this opinion and this WWE, and we just need more people who have solid opinions and they can give it to you right down the middle, and you can make your own decision on how you feel about the athlete or the team, and that's.
Is that interesting to you? Is that entertaining to you? Is that educational to you?
I
Because
look
it
at
seems like those are great, but they don't have the full support of the network sometimes or the full support of the audience, because it's just more entertaining to be boisterous, to be outlandish, to just go opinion first, not fact first.
The best YouTube channels, the best things out there are where you're learning something. Like
True.
That's where you want to come get information. Like you know what I mean? Like so that's where those kind of journalists can shine at. I don't care about being entertained with sports. I don't care. I got my own opinion.
The
You know what I mean?
athlete entertained you. The game entertained you.
Yeah. So, but as far as like getting the facts, that's where the game is missing, I think.
Damn. What you think, OG?
I don't think that the opinion shows are cut for journalists, right? So I think you have two different sides that want to throw their expertise out as a credential, right? The players want to say, I played, so I know this. Journalists want to say, I'm a journalist. I'm on the inside. I know this, right? And those two things often clash. But with these shows, you're not getting topics and opinions. I mean, you're getting topics and you're getting opinions. You're really not getting journalistic content. Journalists who are writing journalistic content like articles and stuff like that have sources. They have specifics. They follow certain guidelines and certain rules. Opinions are just opinions, right? No matter whose it is.
Yeah.
So I think that neither one is going to win that argument. Neither one is more interesting. It's who's going to present it in a more entertaining fashion. So that's why you have some athletes who are really good at it, and then some who are really just boring at it. You know, Draymond is good at it because he's always throwing some red meat out there. And you get to argue about it, and it keeps the fun part going out there.
Yeah.
Right? But some cats are kind of boring with it.
What color's that meat? Throw that flag. Or keep that red meat out.
There's some good guys out there, like
Raw meat.
Tony and Tony Kornhauser, yeah, and then Bomani. There's some good guys out there who still.
Bomani's not biased?
Bomani's mostly his opinion.
Yeah, but
and so is Kornheiser. They're not in locker rooms, and they're not doing that. They're not doing that anymore.
What I would say too, man, I really appreciate the journalist view, because a lot of times, like I play the game and I enjoy but. It's like going into March Madness right now. There's so much information about these schools going on. Like, no one has time to watch all this basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I might have watched 5 basketball games.
Yeah, but
this season.
those aren't the shows we're
you know
talking
what I mean?
about.
But it's just being able to get the information of what's going on in free agency right now, to be able to get, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I think based off of the information that's provided. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's more like what I enjoy. I enjoy hearing the facts as well. Like Nick Wright, for example. I enjoy watching his show and to get his take on it, because a lot of it's backed up by the statistics and about the analytics that come behind the game.
Terry, you disagree?
He biased as hell.
He biased.
See, I
subscribe to that bias.
He's the original.
He's good at what he.
I subscribe to his bias.
That's because we like his opinions.
Yeah.
Right? So it's confirmation bias.
That's where I want to go. 'cause
It's
you
absolutely
said
a
that.
confirmation bias.
It's almost like we're just saying, which road do we want to travel to your opinion? Do we want to say, damn, you did this since Pee Wee, and then you were a Hall of Famer, I want to hear you say it.
Yeah.
Or, man, you went to school and studied all the techniques and know all the ins and outs and the craft. Oh, my God. And you're going to stay out the forest and just tell me about what trees are in there? Oh, that's amazing. Now, it sounds like we're just really picking between those two, and then who gives you the best presentation of it, because it's nothing else anymore.
That's all it is.
No.
It's who is presenting it in the fashion that you want to see it.
And for me, it's my favorites are not athletes, even though I prefer an athlete. It's weird because I don't have enough examples of the athlete doing it the way I love it.
Still early.
Yeah, but I like the journalists when they nail it. I think if there is a like sweet spot, if there's a bullseye, if there's okay, you nailed it. It's come from when the journalist has done it. I would say safely. In what way?
I said the journalist too.
Yeah. I was just trying to see if I get you off the square. But
You was right.
Get that on the record.
I was right too. Yeah.
That's on the record.
because I think there's,
He don't want to agree.
it's almost like there's a, like Shannon Sharp is the perfect example.
Yeah.
Shannon could give you Shay, and then he could give you Shannon.
With stats
And it's
everything,
like
back it
almost
up.
it's like
It's like
clean up. Like athletes, which athletes can clean up, but then journalists can't get dirty. And so I like it a little more polished than not.
I think he does it best. Like
Shannon?
if you didn't know he was a former like pro athlete, superior athlete, you would look at him as just a journalist that is really good at what he does. Because everything is always backed by stats, in just knowledge of the game.
Yeah, let me give you the information behind my opinion. Then I'm gonna give you my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, I got the nice graphic stats right here. I got the highlights right there for you to see. And it's just like the whole package where a lot of the times when you see professional athletes that have platforms, they don't have the kind of the budget and the support that goes along with
Like
it.
us.
You know what I'm saying? Or the knowledge.
Some of them don't have the knowledge.
Some don't have the knowledge. Some don't have the vocabulary. Some don't have the intellect.
Yes.
Some don't. But then the journalists, sometimes they just don't have the understanding, the wherewithal.
Yeah.
I just like Colin Cowherd's probably. If I had to say I had to grab one guy out of this whole world, all of them forever, I'd be like, it'd probably be Colin. I'm trying to think around it.
Dan
and
Patrick is up there.
Dan Patrick.
You know what?
Patrick.
But see, that's my point. To your point.
Yeah.
I'll tell
It's
you
both
who's
journal-
really good at it. Mike Greenberg.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like
Mike Greenberg
I like
and
Greeny.
Colin
keeping it up.
Cowherd, because there's something about Mike Greenberg that you trust.
Mike and Mike.
So you
Keep it
trust
going.
to hear it.
He gonna keep the train on the tracks.
Yeah.
He gonna keep it moving in that fashion. The thing I don't like about journalists, because I said I kind of made it like where I don't like about the athletes. What I don't like about the journalists is they can't take it. Like their ego, like once their opinion gets challenged, it's like, oh, you didn't go to school for this, and it's like, but I'm listening, and so then it's like they throw out way more fastballs than they can hit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dog, you got to take this shit too, because athletes are used to taking it.
Yeah.
So when we go back and forth, all of a sudden you get Skip Bayless when he melts down,
He crashed
when
out,
Jalen
yeah.
Rose undressed him. Like it's like, dog, it's your turn. Like 1 point, how many points you average? 1.6.
Water pistol.
Water pistol. Like everybody got a nickname, and now you get your nickname, and now you over there. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Right.
Put your glasses back on.
But you can, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that whole thing. That's when I lost some love for the sports journalists because they realized that theatrics were necessary, and then they left their game plan, which was like Colin still does it to me. Like, just stick to the script, give me the stuff, sum up a great opinion, and I'll be like, damn, that's dope. Versus, I want to be the star. And I think Stephen A. wants to be the star, and then that kind of gets into his opinions, because you can just tell who he likes, who he doesn't like, what he wants, what he doesn't want, and that kind of throws it off for me. What do you think, Trip? What you like? Which lane?
I would say it depends on the topic. Basically, hearing it from a player's point of view, I would like to hear it if it's dealing with the sports or whatever positions they're playing, not from a journalist that never played the game. I mean, he only knows so much what he's reading off stats, off paper. I mean, everything's good on paper, but I would always love to hear it from a player because they play the game.
What about a journalist? Like, being real, NARPS are journalists. Like, you're from that pool, right? So Terry played basketball. Just Blaze played basketball. You played baseball, football, all that. Like, imagine somebody just said, you didn't play the game, I don't want to hear it. And that's what you just said about journalists, what you just said about yourself.
Right.
Because you ran track, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I don't want to hear Trip talk about track. Really?
I would feel away. Yeah, I would, but
Yeah, that's what you just said. You don't want to hear them do it because they didn't play.
I did. But,
So which one is it?
I'm gonna stick to my facts because I would love to hear from, like I said, the player's point of view. They're out there sacrificing their bodies. They're out there on the field. They're doing what the coaches or these analysts aren't doing. All they're doing is reporting what they already did.
Well, how much do you think that I learned from football as a pro versus somebody who played only college or high school? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been out coached. I just lost our championship on Saturday to a high school player at Sierra Canyon. He was their coach. Now, I didn't have my best player. I didn't have my son. But the point is,
Right.
I'm like, the boy knows some football. He was calling some good plays. You know what I mean? I had to, oh, man, we got to change this defense up, et cetera. So, like, how much do you think, how much do you guys presume that I learned that you didn't learn because I just went pro? You know? Because it sounds like you're giving this much more credit because I kept doing the same thing longer, which is the 10,000 hours.
You learned a lot more, like significantly more. Like you woke up, like college, you got to go to class. True. You got to write papers.
True.
You know what I mean? You got to study for those tests. You know, in NFL, you wake up and you eat, sleep, and dream football. That's it, and play.
Playbook.
You know what I mean? That playbook, playbook y'all get is like the size of the stack of that books right there.
Yeah, that's real.
And if you don't know something in it, they call the play and you stunting the wrong way. They're looking at you like you got two heads. You know, the accountability is different. The expectation is different because they're giving real American dollars for that production.
Definitely.
So is there a pros for the journalists, or is just learn it and then exude it?
They're doing their job. I mean, to report.
I think a good analyst is a good analyst. Whether you played or you didn't play, if you studied the game, then you know the game. Like, you can break down film and do all of that. Me personally, when I listen to anything with like pros, I like to hear them talk about things that wasn't on the camera. So I like to hear about like the locker room stories or things that happened on the bus or things that happened on your route to the league. Like, I like to hear the backstory because that's the stuff you don't see. When it comes to things that's on film, I think whoever's the best at it is who I want to hear. And typically, I mean, you'll have certain elite players who can articulate and break down what's happening and this and that. But a lot of times I feel like it's the journalists who go more into detail about what you're seeing.
For example, Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Stephen A. Smith. Every team loses a playoff game or whatever. He's so dramatic, so much drama with the crying and replaying it over and over again. A player is not going to do that.
It's almost like the Cowboy fans.
Yeah, the theater of it. The players are reluctant to do the theater because they
It
like
means something.
Because they think of it as acting, and it's like, I really did it, so why would I act? Right? Like, you know. But I like your point about when you're talking about if you know it, you know it. And the thing is, what is there? The criticism of players is you know the game, but then most platforms, they say the biggest criticism of players is y'all ain't talking about the game no more. Y'all just talking about the club, the relationships, the girls. That's entertaining to you guys, or do you rather the players who have that expertise on the field talk about on the field, on the court, or you rather hear the outside stories?
I think we got.
I'd rather.
I think we got to define what journalism is. Like, we got to figure out like who are the journalists, who are the entertainers, and are we watching a documentary as far as when these athletes talk about their stories or what's going on? Because most of the time when you hear athletes talk, and they're good, you know, they're good at talking, but most of the times you realize why they capped out at the level they capped out at, because they don't know the game. They're not coming in with any strategy or any of that stuff, and you see why they landed where they landed. Yeah. So at that point, I don't need to hear your basketball opinion because you're not what you're talking. It showed in how you played and why you didn't go there. So I don't need to hear your opinion about basketball because you don't know how to play it. You're really good at it. I respect it. Yeah. But as far as when it comes to like winning basketball or dissecting why this team won or whatever, you're not really telling me why. You don't know why they did it because you didn't do it. Damn. So I'd rather hear a journalist who has studied the game for decades and knows how to articulate why the hell this team did that, this team did that. They can compare it, you know, and they have a lot of examples to show you
the
why
references.
This is working. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Sound like you got some real names and numbers in your head. There's some people you thinking about.
But
dang.
That's also why
I know one.
I respect.
Your hateful heart.
It's all respect because I just get tired of hearing it. It's like it's just not. It's not as entertaining as they think it is. Ooh. And they keep going. You know what I mean? But it's like I check out.
But that's also why I said when it comes to journalists, it depends if it's a player, it depends how they articulate themselves. Yeah. Because when it comes to Tony Romo and Brady and Shannon Sharp, they all have now moved into like the media journalist space. But from their player knowledge, the way they break down film and the way they break down plays and the way they talk about how things happen, you can tell that they were at an elite level, but they know how to break it down to just the normal fan who didn't play. Right. So that's like elite journalism, and you were a player. But most players don't do it that way. So I'd rather hear from the journalists.
So that's probably something I would probably say. I would much rather hear like Tony Romo, Tom Brady, those types of guys break down a game and listen to them for the entire game. Kind of like Eli Manning and Peyton Manning, like the platform they have. Yeah. And you can watch a game and it's just them breaking it down because they're giving details. You got Tony Romo calling the plays before they even snap the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like being able to hear that type of information. Like, this is the formation they like in this third and short, third and medium type of formation, and they kind of get into those details versus having the person that's sitting beside him never played before, doesn't understand what's going on. Maybe he does, vaguely, but it's not as immersed into it as you would get from like Eli or Peyton.
So let me ask this. Can I ask? So are you extending that out to a Kendrick Perkins? Does that mean you would or would not like a Kendrick Perkins? It wasn't like he was an elite player. He has a lot of basketball opinions. Is it just
how he articulate himself?
Yeah,
He's not good at that.
I like Perk.
he mumbles a little bit.
Well, Perk
like Shaq.
definitely. I mean, there's a, and this is really who he is. There's a character of Perk, right? So it's like the Southern drawl, and,
Right.
And like you said, putting the meat out there, kind of like Draymond. Pause it. And it's like he knows his way, and he got all these slick little, sayings, colloquialisms, and he's funny. I like him. At the same time, I
was loading up. That's all.
Colloquialism.
Hey, Marcellus about to dunk this now.
He said colloquialism. I almost took you out.
Oh, that almost did me. Colloquialism. He did. He can't say that. You can't say that again. But he's a hybrid. Like he's a hybrid in the sense of player, but were you that great? Oh, but you still did it, right? Like I could say, did Perk ever make All-Star? Nah.
He a champion though.
He a champion. See?
And I'll be real, as a Lakers fan, when he got hurt in 2010, that's when I knew we was gonna win. To be
He was
honest,
trying to discredit Perk.
I like
but
Perk.
he was a legit piece
he
to
was
that
legit
championship.
piece.
Yeah.
I would
Yep.
never discredit Perk, but it's just the level of detail that he goes into isn't as much as like a Tony Romo
not
or
his thing.
that's just not his thing, and that's fine. He's still great at what he does. I would still like seeing him on TV and giving his opinion. It's just not to the level that we were discussing prior.
Well, I can say this. I know a couple of former superstar basketball players, and they don't want to hear anything from Perk.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
About basketball.
They win a ring.
I was just about to say that.
They did.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Like everybody, but we're all, not me. Not you either, Just. I'm looking over here because y'all gave out what you really want to hear, and I want to be informed, and educate me and take me there. And I remember there was this study of viewing habits with listeners, and they were saying, "How many of you listen to classical music?" And everybody said, "Me, because it made you sound smart, right? It made you sound like you were a round person." And then they said, all right, we've been tracking your habits. And none of you motherfuckers will listen to classical music. It's the same thing when we say we want to be informed and educated. And, man, the nerds don't really win in this game. Like, it's the ones who's just, we're the entertainers, right? Like, Stephen A. Smith's the biggest. And he leans on his entertainment card more than his nerd card, right? He'll say some stats and he's just trying to get to his opinion. Because you like, dog, everybody know that. I'm about to die. I'm still trying to say colloquialism. No, he'll be like, he'll say 14-3 and, the last year they won NFC championship. You're like, all right.
Production meeting. They
Production meeting.
covered it in the production
Yeah,
meeting.
all that stuff.
It was right in front of his face.
And then it's like, now he about to go. And when he goes, I guarantee you the ratings go with it. Like, they don't go when he's statting it up. And they don't even go when he's complex with the details of the game. It goes when, come on, y'all. It goes when he starts that thing. So how much of y'all really in viewing habits, like, what this fool talking about, but I'm still watching, versus, oh, that was informative, click. Like, how much of y'all really in on the education versus entertainment?
I mean, it depends on if I'm just watching a game or I'm trying to watch a clip. You know what I mean? Because, be honest, when First Take is on.
Oh, we got honesty now. You heard that?
When First Take is actually on, we're all trying to get the kids together, get them out of the house. By the time you get the kids to school, First Take is off. You know what I mean? So the most you might see a First Take is the highlights, the clips.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is when you actually sitting down, you're watching the game, and you got somebody breaking the game down as you're watching it. That's it. Because I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to watch all 3-4 hours of the game. Depending on what we're watching, right? Baseball, basketball, football, whatever it is.
Damn, them poor kids. Let me stop. Go Don't disturb me, damn it. I watched it all through 4 hours. I have not watched a 3 hour. I ain't even watched the whole Super Bowl like that. It's impossible. You get 3 hours in?
No, what you gotta do is just set it up, invite their friends over,
True.
and then you watch it with your boy, with your homies.
It's
and,
on. I'm
Yeah.
just saying I'm not watching it.
Yeah, and then they playing video games or playing chess or doing whatever, they jumping in the pool, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm chilling and watching
Flexing.
the game.
Shit. Chuck E. Cheese over there.
They doing something.
Helicopter ride.
Hey, you gotta protect your peace, fellas. You gotta protect your
The
peace.
indoor pool, the outdoor pool, the racetrack.
Face painting. Face painting.
Face paint. God dang. Out here
Hey, you gotta
bossing.
protect your peace, man. I might bring him over to Marcellus' house. I can watch the whole game there. Ain't nobody asking me for nothing.
Man, I know that's a thing, man. Trying to watch the game. We were just having this conversation of how irritating it is when you're trying to watch the game and somebody with you just want to socialize. Whether you go to a game and somebody just like so and you're like mother sucker, or your boy and you're like dog, really? Like you just don't care? Like
My wife has that problem.
Oh, really?
Because she loves to watch the game, like especially she's a UNC fan. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a Duke fan, so she knows she's going through it right now. But like a lot of times I invite my homeboys over and we'll watch the game, but his wife want to talk because they don't really watch the game. And so like, I'm happy. Leave the game's over. I'm happy as hell. I watch the game. She look at me. She mad as hell on the way home. Like I ain't get to see none of the game.
Don't watch it with them no more.
exactly.
I was trying to watch the game. She talking about purses.
I know. Ain't nothing worse. You be like, oh.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I
need
don't
is
go to, I can't go to sports bars because obviously, when you played and then people are like, oh shit, they really expect you to know more than you do. One. And I'm like, dog, they be like, who you think gonna win? I'm like, I mean, if I knew that answer, I would be in Vegas, fucker. I would not be right here talking about give me some more wings. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to make money. I don't know any more than you do.
Wings.
Now, that's what's crazy. Fat ass. That's what's crazy about being a former athlete. People really give you like that, like you're a doctor. And I'm like, no, I can't perform surgery. I know I could play football. I know the game of football. But that doesn't mean I'm going to predict football because there's never been two plays the same in any football game ever.
I don't think anyone can predict it.
But that's what part of the industry is based on. I'm watching you all week so you can tell me who should I put my money on because I know you know.
But are they approaching you that way because you played for 10 years or because you covered the sports for your entire life afterwards?
Probably both. Probably the latter, I would say.
You know what I mean?
more.
Because especially if they're like,
Good point.
they probably come and he's like, yo, I seen you on TV talking about it. You must. Somebody told you something, didn't they?
And your prediction,
Opposite.
right.
I think it's because you played it. That's why they doing it.
They talking to you like you read the script.
But have you ever seen at the end of all them shows? Let's see Stephen A. Smith's picks 3 and 20. None of us like dog. None of us.
They didn't read the script.
Like we ain't getting it like that. It's a whole different animal playing and talking about it. And let's transition to somebody who's playing. And we talking about her. Damn, I'm good with this. Angel Reese says she modeled her game growing up after Michael Jordan.
Sometimes I be.
And I'm like, okay, that wasn't the pool I had.
Jordan.
I wasn't thinking she's Michael Jordan.
Michael
but
B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
That's what she is.
You said Creed.
Michael B. Jordan.
You said Creed.
see, we're going to be
Michael with the Jordan was
misogynistic,
right.
sexist,
It
all
was the
that.
B that was missing.
We're going to be all that. That's funny.
Way before time.
What does her game remind you of? And who do you think she really modeled her?
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman?
Yeah. Because she's a rebounder.
I can
Like, that's
see
her
that.
thing.
I can see
She's
that.
a scorer
Rebounds.
too, though.
She's not really a scorer.
She is Julius Randle.
Most of her points come
Whoa.
from missing her
She's
own
a
rebounds.
left-handed bull in the China shop.
No, but Julius Randle's offensively skilled.
Yes, but boy, that's close.
I don't
Randall
know.
was close. Old Randall.
Right.
Now, Randall good now.
Yeah,
He
I'm
good.
talking about the first
He was
couple of
always
years.
good.
I mean, but young Laker, they didn't give him his shot.
Just, yeah, because
They didn't give him a chance.
Yeah.
Knicks, Randall, sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's why I wouldn't put them in the.
Yeah, I
in the
don't,
same
is she
category.
that high? But Rodman, does she got that energy and that
Well,
impact?
Rodman most of Rodman's points didn't come from him creating his own shots. It came from him getting his own rebounds.
Yeah.
And most of her points come from her own rebounds,
That's
missing
true.
her own shots. So, I mean, these are facts. It's not me making it up.
Why does
This can
everybody
be
look
backed
down
up.
when we say this? Like, all right, I'm asking you, Carver. Why? See,
This is
women
true.
want equal rights and equal. Like, if we talking sports,
Equal smoke. too.
equal means you take these jokes too. Like they clown players. JaVale McGee got clowned all his career.
Yeah, he did.
So how come when we clown Angel Reese, if we really talking equality, like I mean, like why you look like that? Why you look like we talking about your daughter?
They don't want it.
It's not that. It's just like, man, it's like,
What?
number one, that's like I haven't seen. No, you know, what's her second year, right? Right? So
What do you mean?
Showing
You-
that
you-
in college, too.
You haven't seen a rookie make layups before?
I mean, this is
she
her
can
second.
make
this
layups.
is her- she
6'3".
can.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's taller than me.
like you giving her pity. It sounds like oh,
I'm not giving her pity. It's just like I'm like, man, she's still developing and she still could be a great player.
She's a pro player.
And she's a great player now. But
Oh, good.
in WNBA, I think she's probably one of the reasons why people started watching between her and
But
Caitlin.
that don't make you a great player.
That
That
had
means
great
you're great in the
influence.
box
That's true.
office.
Jeremy
influence.
Lin made a lot of people watch.
Yeah.
That's true.
Y'all mean whatever you want to say about him. Good, great.
UGK's not here to defend them.
I know, right? Yeah. So, what is it about her game? She just needs to work on. I mean, Kevin Love. Everybody says stay in the paint, stay in the kitchen,
Yeah,
her scoring.
staying there.
work on her
I
scoring.
just saw a clip of her working with Lisa Leslie. 'Cause I
Okay.
don't know if you saw like a week or two ago.
Saw
Lisa
that.
Leslie was like, "You got to come work with. We got to work on them layups. You got to work on that shot." And then like literally it was a couple of days ago. You see them in the gym, and she's like getting her footwork right, change it, like trying to get her to finish because that's one of her biggest problems. She can't finish, and at that size, especially if you're big, you got to be able to finish.
Yeah. Does she have hops?
No.
She's not really that athletic.
Nobody in the WNBA does.
No. Okay. Better question. Does anybody have hops?
In the WNBA.
Yeah.
There's some ladies out there dunking, right?
It's got to be the center.
I still don't think no, because if the one center that like Brittany Grinder's like 6'8", if you 6'8" and you barely dunking, that you don't have
I don't
hops.
think anybody has hops.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody sky.
There's levels to
But
hops.
is there
Like-
women volleyball players? Because I watched. They
don't
got
play-
hops.
but they don't play in the WNBA.
I know. So none of them have converted over. Oh, I watched. I watched.
You want it for a
volleyball.
different reason.
Yeah.
Oh, I record it.
Yeah.
Single life,
You damn right.
beach volleyball specifically.
All of it. What you mean?
I like there's like I watch men's volleyball too. Them 6'6". I got the different.
After that, you gotta let that joke breathe.
Really?
You can't follow up right away with that.
That's a 10-second timeout. No mic for 10 seconds.
Hey, put them in the penalty box, man. we need a penalty box over there with like a
Leave a couple seconds between that joke. Yeah, you went in there too quick.
Put a penalty box right behind the chair.
I think he may have even. I think he lost equity in the house after that joke.
So y'all
Oh my
only
God.
watch women's volleyball?
Yes.
Okay. I actually
Yeah.
I don't like beach.
At the Olympics.
Actually, yeah, I like regular volleyball. I don't like beach. It's only two of them. They miss most balls. I was like, man, get out of here.
Oh, you actually watching it for the volleyball? The problem. That was the problem right there. He was watching it for the actual volleyball.
I actually like, yeah. I mean, I like track. Like, for sure.
I do
Track,
like that.
For sure.
Track.
Oh boy.
Couple years, Richie.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I know his daughter out there. We like, yeah, lane one. Oh. I'm about to die. I can't finish the show. But here's the thing. I know. Here's the thing. Men's volleyball, there's some conversions, like some guys who play volleyball, high school, college, whatever it may be. But they jumping out the gym, so they like, yo, let me play,
they getting up
let me
there.
play ball. None of the women have converted. Them girls jumping.
Some of the
It's
girls can get
6'6" girls out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of them are converting. Where's the athleticism in the WNBA? Why is it not there?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's been around 27 years, y'all, 28 years. Like, let's not act like this. Like, when you keep saying she could develop her shot, I'm like, you come into the league kind of developed to a degree, right? To get into the league.
I think it's gonna sound bad, but it is what it is.
That's how
I
it
feel
goes.
like they don't develop their game in general.
Women?
So, yeah. So for example, like Angel Reese is 6'3". She was probably the tallest girl growing up all the time. So she always played the big position. So her whole basketball career, she always only focused on playing the big position. Now you take that to basketball. KD was probably always the tallest person in his class.
Hold on, you just caught yourself? You hear what you just said?
What?
Let's take this to basketball.
Oh, did I say that? My bad.
Damn.
I thought I said let's take this with KD. My bad. All right. My bad. I didn't realize I said that.
Damn, they don't even play basketball?
Subliminal. That was subliminal. My bad.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
But with like KD, he was probably always the tallest as well. But he didn't just focus on being a big.
Yeah.
They trained him like a guard.
He worked on his handle. He worked on his shot. He worked on every element of the game.
Yeah.
And it seems like with the female basketball players, they only work on what they think they will use.
Yeah.
So like if you're a shorter player, you're probably gonna be a guard. So I'm only gonna work on guard technique.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a PSA.
Yeah, it's
this is what happened with. I swear, I'm glad I know this because I don't know a ton of basketball, like by experience and all that, right? So, sorry, I was 1 year. 1 year we won a championship though. So shit, I got a good team, but I sucked. Rancho Cienega, so Dorsey, like Dorsey little. Yeah. We won it all.
Were you elite?
Huh?
Were you elite?
No, hell no. I scored 5 points the whole year. 4 in one game. That was like
10 rebounds. You had some Stephen A. average.
Oh yeah. I'm better than them though. I was better than Skip and Stephen A. Let me stop. But here's the thing. So MJ is 9 and tall, not the tallest, but tall. He's a forward, and on some teams he could be a center. You could say. So I looked at him, and my son is really fast. So I was like, I start watching him play AAU. And because he's one of the biggest kids, they were putting him at 4 and 5. And I was like, I start watching him. I was like, he ain't playing like he can play. Right. I said, so now we go to Just Hoops. Shout out to Corey and Chris. And we train him like a guard. And I'm like, on his team, he's going to be a 4 or 5 probably just because that's the little kids, they can't play 4 or 5. So he's faster than the little kids, but he got to play 4 or 5 because he's big. But we training them like a guard. It's interesting you say that. I bet that happened to a lot of women. Yep. They got just stuck in that role on a team and then get that individual skill that you need to play other positions.
Because she been what 5'11", probably in high school, and there was probably no girls on her team even close to that height.
Yeah.
The same thing happens in these smaller towns. A good thing you made that call with MJ, or she definitely would have fell into that like trap almost, and that ceiling with basketball. Because in the NBA, you got to be 6'5" to be a guard.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not 6'5", you short for a guard.
Yeah.
You know?
And the reverse is also true. Kids who are small oftentimes have these crazy growth spurts, like Scottie Pippen.
Like Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was 6'1" his freshman year in high school. Now he, 7 foot?
You're training like a guard your whole life.
Yeah.
You have these 6-7-inch growth spurts. All of a sudden, you're 6'8".
Yeah.
But you got the handles.
But that's why AD can't got the handles that he has, because he was shorter up until his sophomore year. I don't want to say he played guard until his sophomore year, and then he hit that growth spurt, and they started moving him down to forward and then center, of course. But because he had that training and that mindset going into, those later years, that's why he was successful.
Right. And there's a dearth of tall kids even in high school. You know what I mean? Like my little cousin plays at Redondo Union. They got to the semis of Division I state. They played Sierra Canyon. He's 6'5". The coach didn't trust the other kids who were maybe taller but maybe younger. So he ends up sticking a cat who's 6'8" the whole game. 6'9", takes him out of what he can do.
Sierra Canyon win?
Sierra Canyon beats him in overtime, basically, and they don't move on. But when you're tall, that's just kind of your curse. Yeah. You got to play the other tall kids if there are one.
Same way like in football, like if you're fast, I can't say that now, but like in the early 2000s and the 90s, if you're fast, you ain't got a chance to play quarterback. They need you playing wide receiver. They need you playing corner. They need you playing running back. The positions that require that athleticism and speed. I got somebody that can rest a little bit slower. I got a guy back here that can only throw.
Yeah.
Right. So he has to
play.
So
I'll say this, like the WNBA, they're 27, 28 years old. So like in basketball, when you compare it to the NBA, that's like 1970s, 80s. So back in the 80s and 70s, there wasn't big guys who shot or dribbled. or had the kind of all-around skills. So as the game grows, the players who are seen as being taller players will start
Evolution.
getting those skills. Yeah. So we're in the early 80s era of the WNBA. We got our Jordan, we got our Magic and Bird. We got the Caitlin and
That's
Angel.
a good analogy.
That is a
But
great
you
analogy. But
said
why are
some-
they on those time schedules when they could just look and see the men?
Right.
I mean, but it's still perspective. How you look at
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
But you also said 70s. You compare that to the 70s and 80s. By let's say if you talk about Magic and them like early 70s. By the late 80s, there was plenty of examples of athletic players.
Right.
So that was
Yeah.
less than 20 years where you saw it. Well, they've been around for almost 30 years.
Well, also, I'm
and they have
I'm
way more
comparing it to the
examples
early
now.
NBA to like the
No, but
1950s.
he's saying from the start
Right.
to where they are.
Oh,
So
to seven.
they're- that's where
Right.
they're. That's the stage they're at.
But
right
but also the information that you have and what you see helps propel you to where you go. So like now these kids in high school,
Yeah.
like the boys in high school are jumping through the roof. It's not just strictly off of athleticism, but it's also because they see it.
Right.
Like they see the older guys that can do these things, so they're out there trying to imitate it.
Right.
So it just seems like somewhere along the line the ball is being dropped.
But
I'm trying to cut them some slack. That's all.
This ain't the pity party, Terry. We're not here for pity.
The question Marcellus asked is a great one, though.
Yeah.
Why don't they train their jumps more? Because there are people, women who are showing they can jump.
Yeah. Right.
And jump high,
high
and do it
jumpers.
over and over and over and over again. Why hasn't
The high
training
I think
moved
they're
to
scared
that?
too, man. I think they're scared to jump.
Scared to why?
They're not used to doing it, man. They're used to just shooting.
I
defending.
agree with you. I don't think it's scared. I think it's because they don't see it.
They don't see it. You don't see a lot of women doing it in the WNBA or college. But you see these guys, the men in college and pros.
Well, even the women volleyball players, they're jumping their asses off.
Yeah, but that's a different.
You know what's
Over and
interesting?
over and over.
When
They're
you
training
said
different.
they're scared, I was like, man, hell no, they ain't scared. But then someone was telling me about the athlete ego. And one of the things that you got to train your kids out of is result-based practice. Right. And what happens in practice now is different than it used to be when we were growing up. Our practice used to be practice. Coach was like, your ass can't dribble with your left hand. All practice, you dribbling with your left. Now, coach is like, I ain't got that long to get this team out there and get them right. So we playing into your strengths. So we just going to work on more strengths. And then you're like, where do I work on the stuff I'm not good at? You better go get you a trainer. You better go get you a skill coach or do that after practice because I got right now to lock in on what we're doing. So the ego, players don't want to fail in practice anymore. Players don't want to try new things. They don't want to work on their stuff, their craft, because if you don't compete in practice, you don't get playing time. Coach is going to enforce it. Therefore, he keeps his job. You get playing time, your job, and then everything else, if you notice, is just lab work outside of the team concepts. I don't think these girls, these women, are getting enough time where their ego can say, I'm going to try something I can't do. I'm going to try and jump. I'm going to try and do this skill set. And they only working on what they know works. They only doing what they see that's there.
I think it's more about the expectation that we put on them.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I think right now the expectation for WNBA players is to be able to have good handles, be able to shoot the ball. No one is expecting you to jump 10 feet for a dunk because the average height is what, 5'9", 5'10". You know what I mean? Versus in for your little boy, some parents, some dads expect their sons to be able to dunk by the time they turn 12 or 13. You know what I mean? Like think about what happened with John Morant. John Morant was 5'11", 5'10". His dad said he wasn't explosive enough. He had his son out in the backyard jumping on that tire about 500, 600 times a day to get those hops up to where they are right
Jumping
now.
on a tire?
On a tire in Sumter, South Carolina, bro, right up the street. Yep.
You ever seen it? You never seen the
Yeah, so
workouts?
No.
it's crazy. So basically, it's a big tractor tire. You have them jump on top of the tire, in between, like in the middle of the tire, out of the tire, land, turn around. He'll just be doing that for hours.
Oh, sick with
So
it.
all of that. So that, I mean, it comes down to expectation, right?
Good
Like the
point.
expectation for volleyball, you got to jump up there to get hit the ball and have a steeper angle when you strike the ball when you try to score, right? So you need that. The expectation, if you have a little girl, is like, hey, you got to be able to jump if you want to be successful in volleyball. That's not the expectation for basketball. You don't have to have an elite vertical to be an elite basketball player in the WNBA.
You know what I never understood either? So you like in the NFL, sometimes they'll go grab basketball players
Oh, yeah.
because of their high jump and you know their athleticism and their footwork.
Footwork, yeah.
I never understood why in the WNBA, or even in college female basketball, why they don't grab volleyball players who have those explosive hops.
Because you still got to dribble and shoot.
No,
Yeah,
but you
it's a
don't.
skill.
Because as a big,
That's a skill.
but no, as a big, you don't always have to dribble. There's just plenty of guys who played in the league who could not dribble or shoot, but they can jump, they can grab rebounds, they can catch it
That's
off
the same hump that they said about the basketball player. They're like, oh, but you still got to get hit. Like they always say, oh, man, you can play, but you still got to get hit. Dog, you can learn how to get hit real quick. It's called incentives. It's like, oh, shit, I'm about to get paid. You mean either I could go work at FedEx or I could be in the NFL as an undrafted free agent as a basketball player.
That's like the Sparks. They're hiring men.
I'm going for that. I'm trying out for
You
that.
trying out?
What are they doing?
Hey, don't
Hiring
go
men to
viral.
play against their team on the practice squad.
That'd be
Oh,
dope.
that's
And
sick.
They
April
want them to
crazy.
practice against men.
In April, yeah.
Them girls going to be cooking your ass.
Blaze, I'm gonna sign up.
Just like Hatchet on that argument.
And a woman that can see me. I'm
Hold
sorry.
on. Could you beat every girl in the WNBA?
No.
Ooh, bro,
If
be
within
careful.
a certain height range, I mean, I think if
That-
they
that-
like,
that- that-
if it's
that-
Brittany Griner and she's like 6'8", it might get a little different then. But if they're anywhere in my height range, they ain't got a chance.
Okay, I'm talking about Brittany Griner
Playing
too.
them out. I don't
Could
know.
you beat
it might
Brittany
get
Griner
tricky.
one-on-one?
It might get tricky then. I don't know. I'm not gonna say no, but I can't guarantee that I would beat it. Just depends how the game
But if
plays
they're
out.
5'8", how tall are you?
God, hey, you go that little. Nah,
What
if they
if
like,
what if
if
they're
they
6'1"?
Oh, that's fool. I eat dude. Pause. I can't do that. I can do if a dude is 6'1", he ain't got a chance. So let alone a
Hold on,
female.
Iverson is 6'1".
Iverson, he'll get this work. In his prime,
You're not young.
In his prime, no, but he's older than me. Prime
like
Iverson,
Lamar
no.
Ball. Still got game, man. He still got
Prime Iverson, no.
Dog,
But if
there's
you-
no lack of belief in yourself over there.
I'm just
That's
saying.
how you know you from New York.
I'm just saying.
bro.
If she's 6'2" and under, that's food all day. Because she's not strong enough. Like, she might be skilled, but when I come down, I'm moving her out the way.
You think you can
Dog,
beat
I'm
Candace?
190.
He gonna elbow foul.
I'm
opportunity.
190.
It's called a
What she gonna do?
You think you can beat Candace Parker 1-on-1?
Candace is what, like
6'5". She's 6'6".
6'4"?
She legit.
She legit. She taller than me.
6'4".
It might be some work. It'd be some work.
Some work, and then you would win.
I mean, I think I could win, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna just like destroy her.
Yeah.
I'm realistic enough to be like, it ain't gonna be easy.
I love it.
But if she's anywhere, if she's like 6'2" or less, that's all day. All day. I'm putting in the paint. What's she
Crazy
gonna do?
work.
Crazy work.
They ain't got enough upper body strength for that.
All right,
gonna
let's
do?
transition to some more crazy. Not crazy work, but boy, this is crazy. Organization NAACP, which stands for
Richie Porter.
I know, you know I go right here.
National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
All right, they ain't changing that name either. Your ass is still color. All right, so they are protecting. I mean, like, they changed our name a lot of times. They ain't gonna change this one. Like, black people, you can't NAACP. I'm messing with them. The thoughts on them, because right now they're in support and protecting the high school girl runner back east, who is 18, an adult. They're protecting her, the perpetrator, and not the victim as much. What are your thoughts about that? The NAACP protecting her.
That's just another bad decision by them.
How and why, though? I mean, that's too obvious. Why did they do this?
I think they just saw somebody in distress. And just like anybody else who's saying that was an accident, somehow that led them to believe her version of it, and it's just the wrong side. They literally just picked the wrong side. First of all, they didn't have to take any side in the whole
That
thing.
part.
And then secondly, they chose the person who chose to lift the baton and strike somebody else in the head with it,
Which has happened never.
which has happened never.
Just in Neverwhere.
I mean, it's crazy. That was crazy. Why in the world would you do that as an organization?
Does anybody think that it was an act? Oh, you can go, Terry, but was it an accident? Anybody? Are we still off it? Are we all off that accident train?
No, I'm still undecided.
I'm still undecided.
Oh, really? Okay,
I mean,
listening.
I'm leaning more towards like it could have been on purpose, but like I couldn't convict her. if that was. If
You gonna have our jury hung?
Yeah, I
Oh,
will.
We gonna be up in the
But
hotel all week.
But I'll say this. I did read the statement that the NAACP put out. And
Okay.
they talked about both parties, but they're covering the girl because she's getting death threats and racial attacks. So that's why they're covering her more than the other one. So, but yeah, it wouldn't have made sense if that wasn't the case.
And why? I just don't get it. Just all she had to do was say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But she's a kid.
What if she didn't do it?
She's not. She's an adult now, and her parents should have said, "Say you're sorry." There's
I'm playing devil's advocate. I know damn well she did it, but
I mean, some things are just obvious. It's just. I mean, how can I state that I saw her lift her arm and strike? I saw you pull the trigger. I saw the fire come out the end of the gun. I saw the dude fall.
hold on. We done seen a lot of them local news clips, and then them people be getting off. We saw Rodney King get his got beat, and then what?
And that's what I was gonna say. I think a lot of it is them just like, hey, we protecting our own. Because it's easy to say she did it on purpose, but also she is a kid, and everybody has made mistakes.
18-year-old. But I hear you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I mean, we still have 18-year-olds kids.
Yeah.
Like you're an adult, but you're a kid.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Right. So,
absolutely.
and we all know there's probably things we did at that point in time that you should have apologized for that you might not have. But she's also getting killed online.
Yeah.
So I think it's more like, hey, this is a young kid. We're gonna try to protect you just for the optics of things, and then wherever she goes from there is on her. But I mean,
You couldn't travel this course by actually being accountable. Because I've run a lot of track. Like if we zoom in on that little trophy, random, whatever the hell is over there, there's some real recognition in track. And I don't put miles on these legs on the track and have never. I mean, I dropped the baton in Eugene, Oregon, at University of Oregon in our nationals, and we still won. But I have dropped the baton before. Felt crazy, like, oh, God. Yeah, flex. I gotta let them know. Before the fat, I used to roll, boy. But man, I've seen it all, and I have never seen somebody hit me with a baton in the head.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Never. So then,
But the thing I did see, I watched the whole video, and her immediate reaction after that happened, she wanted to stop and like check on the girl.
nobody stops you from stopping.
But I feel like she was running that 4x2 and
Yep.
was like, it's a team race. Let me
True.
finish the race, and I'll go check on her after. But her initial reaction after hitting it, she wanted to stop for like about a half a
she
second.
did not
Because
check
she
on
knew
her.
she hit her.
Yeah, you knew
Right.
you hit her.
She
Right.
knew she hit her on
But
purpose. It
that
was
was
like,
guilt.
I shouldn't have done that. Let me stop.
But
You
then
go
I'm
either
not
way.
gonna
You can
stop
go either
because of
way.
my
You can go
teammates.
because you gotta finish the race.
And then you got to finish the race.
Right.
I can't be that selfish. I got teammates.
Right.
But then go check on her. They said she didn't even check on her. They said it was because it was hostile. I don't give a fuck how hostile it was.
You gotta
It's
go
only
check on her.
hostile because I hit you on the back of the head accidentally or on purpose with this baton.
Right.
So the lack of accountability is the role. I'm like, why is she? Even if you, this is tough though. You're 18. You know you just hit somebody.
Yeah.
Shit. I could tell this is bad. People are on me. This is crazy. Last thing I could do is admit it. So this is what you do. And I'm guilty of being a hypocrite right here, and I'm going to tell you right now. If I'm her parents, I'm like, you lie. We do not say we did this on purpose. On these interviews, we lying. We got a unified front of line. Privately, I'm disciplining the shit out of your ass. But I do not want my 18-year-old to lose so much. Because this world now is so contagious and inflammatory. Like, the girl can't go nowhere, maybe ever. Because that name is going to be out there. That face, she wear that little web again. You know her. You see that girl coming. Right? I see that girl coming. Oh, that's her.
Well,
So
if that's the tact you're going to take, how about doing nothing?
No, you gotta say something.
Why? Why?
You don't have to
You
say
don't have to say anything.
Because
In fact,
silence
It's
gives
deadly.
is guilt. If you
Yep.
say nothing, it works both ways. Sometimes
It's
you can,
true.
Yeah,
sometimes
but-
you can say nothing and it blows over, and sometimes you not saying nothing is admission of guilt. Just like the whole thing, and it's a little off topic, but it's on topic with the whole Jay-Z thing. Remember when the girl came out and accused
and he came
him and
out.
Diddy of it? some people would say don't say nothing, but I remember having a whole argument about that. It's like, no, he had to say something because it was
that's
it was so
different.
outrageous.
That's different because
No,
it was all hearsay or not. We have visual evidence. We have visual evidence here. So if in fact if they had said nothing, the public perception could have been like, well, maybe she didn't do it on purpose because they're not even talking about that shit no more. But she goes on,
the opposite.
and she goes on with the crocodile tears.
That's why you're not saying nothing,
Right? But it's just like talking back to your parents. If you stop talking back to your parents, they didn't give them any fuel for them to keep coming at you when you did something, right? So if you took the fuel out of it, it takes the fuel out if you don't say anything. But her getting on with crocodile tears just lets everybody else say, "Come on, girl, you know you lying. You sitting there lying, and you know you lying.
Sitting
Come
next
on now."
to you every week. If she got on, she
God.
never said nothing at all.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna convince me that
Nope.
you would have came in here and
Nope.
said, "Oh yeah, those,
Yeah.
it was an accident."
You listen to classical music.
You would have destroyed her.
You're
You'd have
lying.
been here
You're lying.
Yes.
You're lying.
You'd have been tearing her up.
Yeah, but
like
that-
she couldn't even say, "I'm sorry." She didn't say nothing.
But
she
you
couldn't
know
even
what?
stand up for herself.
You're right. But that's me. And you know that I'm going to go
Your
home
public
and do my
perception, though.
homework. I'm going to look at it from all the different angles. I'm going to put my own personal experience with it, and then I'm going to talk about it. Most people just keep moving forward, and every 5 minutes is a whole something new on their brain, right? So I'm going to look at it differently than most people are going to look at it. I'm going to look at it with a critical.
But it goes both ways. And to his point, I love how Trip is stupid. He crazy. He is a nut. This sucker he was sitting there, mic down. The mic was down. And then he said, "Hey, what time this we?" He literally picked the mic up to say, "Hey, what time we going to leave?" Like, that's the time you don't pick the mic up. I was like, "Oh, you got something in that green cup. There's something in that green cup."
That's what he wants.
Right.
But where are her? Where are her parents in this?
Right next
Well,
to
her
her.
parents are right next to her saying what I would say, and I know this is hypocritical,
you
but
don't
I've
mean
been
it.
on both sides. So I got my Jay-Z allegations, and the first time that they came out, I was like, I'm gonna talk about it, and then the second time I was like, I ain't giving that shit no fire, no fuel.
Boom.
But hold on,
But he
we
did
go.
both.
but I did both. So here's the thing: you do both, and then you realize, oh, it's only what I gotta live with. So you think it's to change audience and change opinion, or let me color this in. And I tell people, like, don't believe me. Just read what they say, and then you're like, oh, hell no. It can't be, right? But I know both sides because your mind is like, I'm a say it, and everybody going to agree with me. That ain't the case. There's some people that are never going to believe Jay-Z. Some people never believe me. And then there's some people like, oh, he ain't even talking about it. He ain't even tripping. Look at him. He's still at the crib. He ain't tripping. And I ain't giving no fire. But the point is what you can live with. Therefore, if I'm her parents, I'm like, baby, this is not how we should be living. And this don't even sound right, me saying this. I do not want my kid at 18, because I stole stuff in high school and got caught, and the police said, next time, you're in trouble, but we're going to let you go with your principal. And literally, I have not stolen a thing since then. But imagine social media then. Imagine I get caught, star football player, stealing, Compton, face everywhere, and then I'm a thief for the rest of my life.
You're gonna deny it. You're like, I ain't do it.
I ain't do it.
Why you steal them crab legs, man?
Jameis.
I would disagree with that.
I ain't know.
Look
I
at
ain't
the
know.
Ball brother. Stole in China.
Yeah.
Got a record label. I mean, he's signed with Def Jam.
But he got caught.
I know he got caught.
He got
But
caught.
what I'm saying,
It's like,
Yeah,
it
but
was,
Trip,
no,
I
but-
hold that against him every time I see him.
but what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
you don't-
I literally.
no, what I'm saying is
that's
Marcellus
literally
like
the
your
first
life
thing
is
I
done.
think about
Life
every
goes
time I
on.
see him.
They forgave him for that, man.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
Until
thank
you
you.
just said it.
I actually forgot about him stealing. I did not forget about Jameis with the crab legs. And that's the point. It's like
'Cause it's food.
some of these things you do forget about.
Because it was food.
It's lunchtime. That's why you forget.
So I don't care about them glasses. Them crab legs was good though, boy.
Steamed and seasoned? Are you kidding me?
I know. What would y'all do for real? Your 18-year-old And
Deny.
you're like, do I want them to die on the altar of truth and accountability for social media? Because this is all social media. Like literally most of it's weird we're being rigged to think that our interactions are just social. Because your friends are your friends. People who don't fuck with you, didn't fuck with you, won't fuck with you. You won't even notice it probably. It's just like you're gonna be branded this. Would you let your kid be branded the Batanya Harding?
Batanya.
That's good.
Hey,
You better copyright.
It's coming out
Trademark
of
that. Trademark
It's
that.
about to drop right now, 1 o'clock. I got it coming. It's at 1
That's
o'clock.
wild. It's like the unwritten rule, like when your woman accused you of something, deny, deny, deny. If you did it, just deny it. Because a public perception is never going to work in your favor. You're much better off denying it than sitting there and acting like you did.
If your girl accuses
That's all
you,
perception,
if your
though.
girl
That's
accuses
perception.
you and has videotape of you at the restaurant,
Like Cassie
sitting-
and Puffy is a whole.
sitting with
Remember
the
how
girl.
Puffy came out and he didn't deny it? He tried to apologize, and even that
Well, no,
got
first
ate
he
up.
denied it.
First he did.
Oh, he
denied
it.
it.
Oh,
Video
yeah.
he said,
He was like,
he
yeah,
denied
that
it.
never
Oh,
happened.
I'm talking about after the video.
Oh yeah, after video.
But he used to
apologized.
say before,
said
before video, yeah. But when the video came out, like this video is out.
This video is out.
So this is like Cassie, and then it's like Puffy. What you got to say?
And he had to say, I'm sorry. He was like, I was at the lowest point of my life. He was like, I was a piece of shit. Yes, that's what you have to say.
Yeah.
This is 2025.
But they ate him up still.
They didn't
But
care.
that's a different.
Yeah,
type
but
of
that was
video.
so
That was
egregious.
ve-
You
right.
know, he's beating a woman.
Right, that's different.
Her life was not going to be ruined by this, and it still won't be.
But you can't
because
tell that to an
none of
18-year-old.
us can even say what
But
her
as the
name
parent,
is.
would you allow even this to be in jeopardy of ruining her life?
If as a,
I would lie. I literally, and I know I'm not a
yeah,
liar.
but the lie's going to make it worse.
No, not to me.
The lie makes it
That's only
worse.
to you,
just
'cause
should've-
there's some of us who think that it might have been an accident.
There's
Yeah,
I
she still
don't
got the
even
accident
believe
rap.
that you
Right here,
two
right now,
think
said
it.
these accidents.
I don't even believe that you two think it's an accident.
do.
I think you're
I'm
trying
like,
to give
I
her
believe
the.
what y'all believe.
Accident or on purpose, she should have apologized right away. And it'd
No,
been,
she didn't apologize. Right.
I say she should have apologized.
She should have.
Accident
Right.
or on purpose. Either way, you apologize for that.
Because see,
none of this
people
is an issue.
and people fall in races. I think Mo didn't make it to the Olympics because she got stepped on in a crowd.
Yeah.
It happens during a race, but getting hit in the back of your head with a baton
Ain't
does
no race.
not happen in the race.
I just wanna-
people push, people step on you, people will try to edge you out. They'll stop you from getting into the inside lane, but getting hit in the head doesn't happen.
I just want to say this because you said I agree she should have apologized, but also they've been trying to put like legal cases and things on her. So if she has a lawyer is going to tell you don't apologize because if you apologize, that's an admission of guilt.
Well, a lawyer's also going to tell you not to get on fucking you. I mean, on social media saying anything.
Well, no, you can say hey, I didn't do this on purpose. That's not gonna. That doesn't hurt you in the
I
courtroom.
mean, they can use.
More than saying
'cause
I'm
you're
sorry for your pain, even though I didn't inflict
Yeah,
it.
but you
can't
know, a
do that.
lawyer's gonna tell you don't apologize for that because now you're admitting guilt and now you could be sued because you're acknowledging that.
Well, they're lawyers. You're right. Some lawyers will say, don't say a word. Some lawyers will say, just be sympathetic for her, even though you didn't do it. Some lawyers will be like, yo, deny the shit. Like, there's different camps now because Jay-Z has top lawyers. Guess what they said? Attack. They're like, right? You know, and then there's some lawyers, don't say nothing until they catch you with it. Like, I think it's just, it's really the client. Like, it's just like with an agent. Like, your agent tell you, take that deal, take that deal. Dog, you tell your agent I'm taking the deal. You pay him.
Your agent works for you.
He works for you. Like, your lawyer could be like, hey, I wouldn't say a word. You got to live with that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because lawyers be giving you all type of advice that they ain't got to live with. They just going to bill you for it. You know what I mean? And then you walking around here, if MJ, I don't even want to put it on him, just any of my kids, 18, I'm like, this is the road they're about to travel, labeled Batanya. Man, I got to lie about this one. No? Am I a bad parent or a good parent? Or
That's terrible parenting.
It is. It sucks.
You already know that.
I know it's bad.
Sometimes you gotta be a bad parent to be a good.
Hey,
don't throw the rock and hide
not
your
in jail though.
The whole thing.
My kid ain't in jail. My kid ain't forever solidified and branded that. Is there some doubt? There's some.
I'm on the side of freedom there.
That's called.
Yeah. Would you sending your kid to jail to teach a lesson? Nope. Hell nah. We gonna learn that in this house.
Everybody get a second chance, man. Jail ain't the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That sounds like the commercials from back in the day. Remember the drug
Scared straight. Hey, he been scared straight.
When'd you get out, Trip? When'd you get out? How long was your bid? How long was your bid, Trip?
That was a jail commercial.
Hey,
Damn.
I don't know what you been through, but man, you ain't got over it yet.
Right.
That's gonna do it for episode 18 on the Rocks. Right there.
I just got scared all of a sudden.
He like jail ain't the way. Crack is whack.
That green comes
This
in
your
the
brain
whole
on
other
drugs.
city.
Know the drugs.
Say no to drugs.
Say no.
No single
All right,
foul
so-
lines with Trip.
Right. I'm glad he said that. No one chooses football. Football chooses you. It's so crazy people still stuck in Pat Mahomes in the offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers?
This is Marcellus Wiley on the Rocks.